Oh, there's everybody. Look at all those comments. Everyone's like, oh, it took you long enough to get out here. You know, we're getting old, folks. You need to cut us some slack. We do the best thing that we can. We're usually fairly professional, but Olivia just had some drama and just wouldn't stop.
It's always me. Just blame me every single time.
Oh, my Lord. Folks, welcome to the Donut Friendly Show. We are now 5x5 on Instagram in 3, 2, 1. Rumble, let's cross our fingers that this worked. Can you check Rumble? That's going to be the biggest thing because I don't know if it's streaming yet. That's the big crux. Tell me it's working. Tell me it's working so we don't have to reload.
Right now, no.
Okay, we just got to refresh.
Nope. I'll let you know. Sometimes it takes a little bit, but I will let you know as soon as I can get it up.
Okay, well, that's not okay. So we really can't move forward until that's working.
There it goes. Got the red.
Is it good?
I'll let you know.
It's good. If it's got video, it's good. Okay, great. Woohoo! All right, everybody. Well, listen, Olivia's going to tell you all the topics we're doing tonight. Actually, we're going to alternate. This is going to be fun.
Okay.
Clancy, support crosses party line. So this is the woman who strangled 3 of her kids. And somehow this has become a political issue, and people are actually, I mean, this is ridiculous. I thought the O.J. Simpson was divided by party lines, but this is, folks, there really is not a difficult side to be on in this. The woman, crazy or not, it's insane. We'll talk about it.
Yep.
Next.
El-Sayed claims.
Sayed.
El-Sayed, whatever.
It's okay. You got to listen, respect him. These people come in peace.
Ali Akbar claims African identity.
So racist. You're
I know.
Actually, it's not racist.
He's pulling in a Pocahontas. So he's like what, .00000?
Did you just say Pocahontas? We have a guest here who was military, and he's probably like, I can't believe I'm on this podcast. They're horrible.
Tonto came on. So.
Swalwell-Fang files resurface, and boy, is it hot. And I'll just give you a little taste. Rusty Thumb was her code name. And if you can't figure out what that means, trust me, join the military. You'll figure it out.
Oh, gosh. TPUSA gets shunned. Go figure, a leftist mom comes into a high school TPUSA event and throws a fit.
Shocking. Just absolutely shocking. Let me get this straight. A liberal white female was upset. Hold the phones.
Wow.
Sophie Cunningham is a gem and a national treasure and should be protected at all costs.
Yes, and the left mocks Charlie Kirk.
Oh, and it's bad.
Isn't that a daily
No, this
event?
one was horrific.
I haven't seen
this.
it.
This is a person who is transgender on stage wearing a Charlie Kirk T-shirt who literally came out with special effects blood coming out of their neck.
I did see that.
Yeah, no good. No good.
That's
These people need some hospitals. Folks, if you want to help us grow, like, subscribe, follow, and comment. Tonight we have a very special guest. Ben Morgan is in the green room, and he is with Tonto Vodka, a good friend of the show, and he's going to talk about vodka tonight. And I'm a whiskey guy, and I'll be honest with you, I've been to Petropavlovsk, Severomorsk, Vladivostok. I've been to the Kremlin. I've been to Russia. I've had used to be a bartender. I've pretty much had every type of vodka known to man. I'm not a big fan of vodka. However, this sounds good. We'll be right back. Give us a couple minutes.
Do you want the truth? Are you tired of being so confused? You feel like your mouth knows up than the lies on the evening news. Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends. Agree or disagree, just don't unfriend me. 'Cause I'm everything you want. Damn sure what you need. I won't tell no lies. Back up on the facts with truth. And if you can't get down with that, you must be somebody's dude.
The Dumpster has a 5-star rating, a Diamond Transparency Award, and over 500 reviews. Thousands of shirts, coffee, books, and hats sold. We don't sell crap. We sell stuff built to last. Shop now at thedumbshow.com.
This happened last night.
Did it?
Yeah. For some reason, my celebs file moved, and now I got to find them all again. So I got to go find Tonto.
I didn't watch any of last night's
Can you help
show,
me do
I'm
Where's
sorry.
Waldo?
Yeah.
because I can't find it. Oh, there it is.
Got
Found
it?
it.
When you get a sec, check out my buddy Matthew Spear over there at the Dumb Show. Dumbshow.com. Get to see people like yours truly right
You're gonna
here.
remind me to fix that. It says dumb
Maybe
show
that's the
with a
reason for you
B.
to not check it out. But check it out anyway. There's a lot of
Okay.
people better than me on there that a lot better stories. But check them out, dumbshow.com. Matt, take care, buddy. God bless you, everyone.
All right, everybody. Ben
We've been
Morgan.
rated.
Oh, great. We got who rated us?
Robert Guvia?
Julia
How
Gulia.
did we both know we were going to say that?
We haven't been married since God was a corporal or anything, folks. Lisa Regino here was here the other night. Ben Morgan here tonight to talk about Tonto Vodka. Amber Hilliker from the Amber May Show, not Hamburger Hilliker like Olivia calls her. Scott Lloyd will be in studio, Damani Felder, and then Matt Purdy. And we still have a whole bunch of other cool cats to be bringing downtown to the show. But tonight, goal is 300. You can donate throughout the show. That's absolutely fine. But tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about vodka, Tonto Vodka, to be exact, and introduce you to Mr. Ben Morgan. And Ben, welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me Show. Nice to have you here, and welcome, my friend.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You got it. So let's see, vodka. I mean, Tonto does a lot of cool stuff, and he's got some brands that he partners with for jerky and other stuff. But this looks pretty, in my opinion, high end. Tell me a little bit about Tonto Vodka, how you got involved with it after knowing Tonto, your relationship and all that, and just give us the skinny. I want to hear all about it.
Well, it kind of started out, Chris and I were in Tennessee training, teaching a training class out that way. And this distillery out of Georgia had contacted us through Jeremy Mitchell, which you guys know.
Yeah.
And they presented the idea of a Tonto whiskey, actually. So it kind of started out as proposed to be a whiskey. And I want to say they were making this whiskey out of sunflower seeds, which I had never heard of before.
I mean, either.
It was a sunflower seed based mash or something. And so, I was a little interested, and I said, well, send us some samples and we'll see what's what. And they sent us the whiskey, but they also sent some vodka along with it. And I was up at my buddy's hunting ranch and tried the whiskey and didn't necessarily care for it. But my buddy was a vodka drinker. And so he said, that vodka is actually pretty good. Maybe you should look at doing a vodka. So we kind of started to pursue it as a vodka and looked into the industry a little bit. And there was several veteran-owned whiskeys already out there. So we were kind of like, let's do something different. Let's not just follow the same path as everybody else. And like Three Rangers whiskey is out there. Guys from Black Hawk Down. Who else? The Horse Soldiers whiskey that's out there.
Yep.
Young whiskey. And then there's another one, I'm drawing a blank on it. Brad Hollings has a whiskey. And so we didn't want to just cloud up that space even more. And there didn't really seem to be any veteran-owned vodkas out there. So we started that. And unfortunately, we started this whole thing in I would say October, November of 2019.
Ooh.
And
That. Oof. I mean, that's
right.
that's like coming up craps, but okay.
Kinda.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I mean, I left Comcast, a Fortune 500 company, at the same time, and decided just to work for a veteran company out here, and move my entire life and leave stocks and corporate security on a whim. And then they're like, it's like COVID, and we're like, uh-oh. So I get it, but okay. So you went through that. Hard times make hard decisions, but make pretty great men, I've heard. But anyway, tell us what happened after that.
Yeah, that's for sure. And so we struggled with it for a couple years, and then we decided that we needed to. We switched distilleries. We switched distilleries from a guy out in Georgia to Black Hat Distillery that's in Colorado Springs, and we kind of redesigned the bottle. We redesigned the label. We actually put a different juice in the bottle. The original vodka was a corn-based vodka. Corn-based vodkas tend to have a little bit more of that kind of bite to them, almost what people say, it tastes like rubbing alcohol. And part of that can be part of the distillation process as well. But so this is a wheat-based vodka, which tends to be a little bit smoother.
Yeah.
You say you're a whiskey guy, you know the difference then between a wheat kind of mash, like a Weller's or something like that. has a little bit smoother kind of taste to it. So we switched to this wheat-based vodka. And then the other thing that really helps is that we use Colorado water. And now people think water is water. Well, it's definitely not. Colorado Springs actually wins awards for having great water.
Right. And you've never tried New Haven pizza and New York pizza because there is nothing like it on the planet, and it's often replicated, but it's very seldom achieved. The water makes the pizza in a lot of ways. So I'm sure it influences the vodka as well.
It does. And so we take there's when ethanol starts to come off of the still, the beginning phase of that is what they call the heads. And heads are kind of like what is acetone, basically, which is pretty nasty stuff, right? And so then you get the hearts, and that's what's closer to pure ethanol. And that's really what you want for a cleaner product. And then you get the tails, which you want to keep a little bit of tails for flavor. But again, you don't want to bottle that stuff. And so we make sure that we use just the hearts, this little bit of tails for flavoring, and then we proof it down with the water in Colorado Springs, and it makes for an exceedingly smooth vodka. And we try to keep it at the entry level price wise for a premium vodka. Now, like I said, a corn-based vodka is a little bit cheaper just because corn is less expensive than wheat.
Right.
And then you get into like a potato-based vodka or something like that. Those tend to be even more expensive because potatoes are more expensive than wheat and stuff like that. So that's kind of where those prices come from with regards to vodka. And because there's some vodka that's so cheap, you honestly question. I don't even know how they make money off of that.
Right. Yeah.
And that stuff's usually pretty nasty.
Yeah. Like Smirnoff in the plastic gallon. Oof.
Yeah, well, even cheaper than that.
I know. Like, listen, I know there's white label vodka. Yeah, I get it. I've seen it. But my point is that, the dregs of the dregs in the well, Smirnoff was kind of the go-to to be like, listen, I want a real cheap drink that I don't want to wake up from. And that's Smirnoff. I mean, you basically are hungover for 2 days when you drink it. It's not good for the soul. But.
Yeah, so we try to keep it in more of that premium level. We try to be at the entry level of that price. There are vodkas out there that are $60, $80 a bottle. We try to keep it, online. It can be a little bit more expensive just because of the nature of the 3-tiered system that you have to comply with. But we try to keep it under $30 a bottle.
Yeah, so like $29.79 online, and then what, like $24.99 in a brick and mortar, I would assume, something like that.
Yeah, that's usually where it shakes out. And
that makes sense.
And again, the markups are all different across the board. Whether it's certain states have higher taxes than other states do. Certain distributors have higher markups than others do. Different retailers again have different markups as well, and so it usually lands in that somewhere in that $24 to $28, $29 a bottle range.
Walk me through the process of shipping across state lines, because I mean we all get the Al Capone and U.S. Treasury and Elliot Ness style bootlegging type thing, but I mean it's called bootlegging for a reason, and there's a lot of restrictions and there's a lot of things that they will allow you to do. I know Virginia is very strict. We're very strict on alcohol and accessories for firearms and things to that effect. They get just nuts over that stuff. So what are the restrictions, and which states are the worst to work with, and which ones are just a dream?
Well, so it's a 3-tiered system in the sense that, like I said, I can't just send you a bottle. I can't send a bottle to a liquor store. So what I have to do as the manufacturer, we have to go to a state and you have to get a license to import that product into the state. And then you have to go and find a distributor into that state. Now, there's the traditional distribution system, which is like the Southern Glazers or the Breakthrough Beverage, where I send it to their warehouse, and they have a sales force that goes out to the retailers. They create the accounts, put it on the shelf. There's also an online retail system or distributor system called LibDib, which is basically allows us to use existing trucking and warehousing and get distribution into these states without a distributor that has a sales force behind them.
Got it.
So we send it to that distributor, and then we go and create the retail account and fulfill the orders that way.
It's like an FFL with firearms. I mean, it's ridiculous. You got to have all these go-betweens in order to get it. Now, is this just a big Ponzi scheme to make money and essentially tax the living bejesus out of alcohol? Or, I mean, is there any rhyme to this reason?
Well, I think one of the things is that when they, abolished prohibition, they allowed the alcohol industry at the state level to kind of create their own set of rules. So every state has a different set of rules. And unfortunately, even within the state system, there's different sets of rules. Like some of the liquor in certain states is controlled by the state. So now you have to go and get permission from the state alcohol liquor board to bring your product in. You have to go get a distributor, and then you have to go find retailers, and then you have to still go and create the customer. So you have to essentially sell your product 4 times. It becomes very expensive. And I was on the phone, I'm not going to name the state, but I was on the phone with a guy that ran the state ABC board, and Chris was on the phone with us, and the guy spends like 30 minutes telling us the whole story about how great he thinks this product will do in his state, and it's very veteran friendly. But then at the end of the conversation, he says, yeah, but we're going to pass. And in some ways, there's the pay to play that's insinuated, but is going on.
Sure. And
now the alcohol industry in itself has become even trickier because people are drinking less, right. and I'm not an advocate that anybody overconsume alcohol. If you have a problem with alcohol, you should get help, and please don't buy my product. I'm not trying to contribute to anybody's demise.
Yeah, live.
Yeah, totally. Because that bottle of wine I opened up last year that's
still in the fridge, right?
Know,
it's okay. You're such a lush. Stop it. Okay, stop it. Stop finishing my sentences. Go ahead.
My sentences.
Go ahead. Sorry.
But so people are drinking less, and so what that essentially is doing is the large distributors that have 1,000 or 2,000 products in their portfolio, they're going to have some home runs in there. They're going to have some products that sell pretty much no matter what, the big names that everybody knows. So, but then they're going to have some of the smaller names in their portfolio, and those products aren't selling right now. So they're going to go to the retailer and say, look, if you bring this well-known brand into the store and you buy, for every 5 cases you buy, I'll give you 1 for free type of deal. But I also need you to take this other product that isn't selling. And so the retailer will say, sure, because I know I'm going to sell these products. And granted, I'm going to bring this other thing in that'll sit on my shelves for 2 or 3 months, but then I'm just going to discount it and I'll get my money back. But I'll make up the loss by getting this massive discount. So they're pushing product that way. And then when you come in with a smaller brand and you don't have a big brother in your back pocket to say, hey, look, if you bring in Tonto vodka, I will give you this well-known brand for every 5 cases you buy. I'll give you 1 for free. We can't do that. So,
right.
So we have you kind of have to shift, right? And so that's why we've kind of focused our priorities with online sales. And the online system is tricky as well. You still have to comply or conform to a 3-tiered system. So we still have to sell our product to a retailer through a distributor, and then they fulfill those orders online. So when you go to blackhatdistillery.com and you shop a product, we have an embedded website that is actually run by a third party that then they kind of handle the sales side of that, make sure that everything is within legal compliance. Because there are states we can't ship to. And in some states are more restrictive than others. Michigan's really bad. Oklahoma's bad. Utah's bad. Alabama's pretty bad. And there is a lot of infighting right now at the legislative level to ease these restrictions. And then, of course, the big distributors that are out there, they want, more regulation on regards to shipping of alcohol. So it does become a very tricky system. And it is hard to navigate, that's for sure. And you are fighting against, King Kong every day to get somebody's attention. But so what we try to do is we're not just trying to sell people vodka, right? We're actually trying to explain to people that when you buy a bottle of Tonto vodka, you're also contributing money to veteran and first responder foundations, that when we get our allotment every quarter or every 2 quarters, Chris and I break up where that money goes, and we try to give it to different foundations that we are doing good things within the veteran first responder community and helping people mostly with their mental health, also trying to help people with their employment. The the veteran, not just the veteran suicide, but the veteran depression.
Sure.
I mean, the kind of catalyst, I guess, is the suicide. Everybody knows that number, the 22 veterans a day kind of thing. And while that is a tragedy, we want to try to minimize that as much as possible. You also have to scale it back or peel it back a little bit and say, well, if
Sure.
22 people a day are committing suicide, how many people are living with just pretty crippling depression?
Sure. Or contemplating it. Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. And so we try to, do things to help people in that regard. Chris does stuff with insurance adjusters and runs courses for veterans to learn how to become insurance adjusters. We do things with, I'm going to start drawing a blank here, but Carl Monger. And what Carl Monger tries to do is he tries to take veterans and have them go to college to become counselors to help veterans, because veterans like to speak to other veterans about their issues and their problems. And it is kind of a unique set of people. And in some ways it's easier to have conversations with somebody that is a veteran that you kind of feel that you can relate to a little bit better. So we're trying to send proceeds to people that are doing things like that. Not just, hey, I'm going to take some veteran out fishing for the weekend.
Sure.
We're trying to, send this money to organizations that are doing things that will help people in the long term.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Your military service is interesting. So you were a Mustang. You were enlisted, and I don't know the term and the vernacular is tossed around. Maybe I'm showing my age, but a Mustang. Before I out processed, I was in the process of going to OCS and was going to be enlisted to an officer, and then, of course, the ground and a parachute changed my life. But I had my dreams of doing that. So just to segue into that real quick, so people understand your dedication to vets. How was that experience? That entire process of going from enlisted and seeing that and going into the O ranks.
Well, the Mustang stuff is, I think, a term that is for people that go straight from enlisted to college and then do OCS. And I was a little different in that I completely got out. I was completely
I didn't know
separated.
that. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I ETS'd completely. And so I was in college in Fort Collins, Colorado State University, and I kind of fell into that same...
Wait, stop. You went to Colorado State?
Yeah.
You're a Rammy.
I am. Go Rams.
All right, so you don't understand. We're Colorado. So we're Colorado.
Oh, okay.
We're Colorado Avalanche diehards. My father played for the Buffs, and Ike Palmer, who was a point guard for you guys about 25 years ago, is one of my best friends who was on the CSU team. A lot of people know Ike. He's local in Fort Collins. We have
Timmy, what was his name?
Timmy Mers. Yeah, he was
Mers.
all-state track. We have a ton of connections in Colorado.
Yeah, that's when I was there.
Okay, all right. So go ahead. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I was during the Sonny Lubick era. Yeah, that's when I was at CSU.
Yeah, I know. I actually got to meet Sonny Lubick. He's amazing. That's great. Okay, cool.
Yeah, he's a great dude. But so I kind of ran into that same trap that a lot of veterans run into, is that they separate from the service. They don't really know what they want to do, and they just get out. And then they're kind of like lost at sea. And that's what I was. I was kind of just lost at sea. I was going to college. I didn't really know what for. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was just, I guess I did my time. It's time to get out. I guess I'm supposed to go to college. And I was just going to college. And then I decided to do ROTC. And there was an odd program, or not odd, but it's called the Simultaneous Membership Program. So you can essentially do ROTC and you're a cadet, but you're also in the National Guard at the same time.
Right.
And there was a Special Forces National Guard unit in Fort Collins at the time. And so I was in ROTC, I was in 19th Group, and we were coming back from a training event up in Wyoming. And I was getting off the bus, and I saw the guy in front of me had a Ranger Battalion, 2nd Ranger Battalion headgear on, his cat eyes on the back of his thing. I recognized it as 2nd Ranger Battalion, and I read his name tape, and it said Peranto. And I was like, I know a Peranto from Grand Junction that was a couple years older than me in high school. I said, "Are you from Grand Junction? Is your name Chris?" And so he's like, yeah. And we kind of knew each other a little bit from the high school days, but he went to a different high school and he was a couple years older than me and was a super great athlete. And so he was, we ran in different circles, but I knew who Chris was in those kind of things back in the day. He always dated the girls from my high school. But so he and I became friends, and that would have been in 2001, like the summer of 2001. And we've really just kind of been, pretty good friends ever since then. But so I was in college doing the whole thing. And then obviously September 11th happens. And, I kind of planned on going back on active duty anyway. But then when September 11th happened, you're a little bit more enthusiastic about going back and getting back on active duty.
Right.
But I still had a couple years of college left. And so I didn't graduate and get commissioned until 03. And so it did take a minute after that. But so I went back in to be a helicopter pilot. And I went to flight school. And in flight school, I developed a strange inner ear problem. And so unfortunately, I didn't finish flight school. I flew for about 60 hours. And then I ended up rebranching and went back in the infantry, kind of just, I know that's that world.
Blackhawks are bullet sponges. You don't want to be in Blackhawks. Have you met Ryan Weaver?
I have met Ryan Weaver, yes.
Okay, so he can tell you all the stories of why. It's just like every time I hear stories, I'm just like, oh my gosh, just the craziness that those guys have to deal with. I mean, they've got some cojones flying in those things. It's crazy.
Well, my dad was a medevac pilot in Vietnam, so
so you're born with it.
I kind of knew what I was walking into with regards to being a helicopter pilot, especially with two wars going on. So
sure.
But it didn't work out. It just, it's a long medical story and it's not really that interesting. But so I rebranched. I went back into the infantry, and I ended up, the Army has all these weird things with year groups, and if you're, you kind of fall outside of your year group, they don't really quite know what to do with you. And so I was looking for a duty assignment, and I ended up getting but sent to Fort Polk, JRTC, the Joint Readiness Training Center. And, and so 2 wars going on, that place was just running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We just, had one rotation after another. And you kind of start to see the other side of some things with regards to the way the Army does business. And in some of it, I kind of started to get a little disenfranchised with what was going on. I didn't really feel like we were doing these guys a very good service we're getting ready to go into Afghanistan or go into Iraq. I felt they were not being set up for failure, but they weren't getting what they really needed. And I kind of just, decided that I was going to get out again.
What year was
separated
this?
From this. What's that?
What year was this?
That would have been in 2006. And so I separated from the service again. And again, still kind of just lost at sea kind of guy. What am I going to do? I went to work for a buddy of mine. I was in contact with Chris, and he was doing the contract world stuff. And, I had, my wife had just given birth to twins. So I had some stress going on at home. That's not the easiest thing.
No. It's not. It's like, geez, you didn't call Chris and ask to accompany him at that point with twins. Holy moly, that's a lot. So
I did.
That was my. I was setting you up for success there, by the
way. Yeah, I did. I called Chris and was like, "Hey, man, I need a job," and he said, "Hey, he gives me these emails and phone numbers to call, and I call these people, and they said, okay, we got to do some background check stuff on you, but we'll give you a call." And so I'm sitting around and I'm waiting and I needed a paycheck. And so I reached out to my dad, who was, had some connections, at the general officer level. And this guy got me a job with another company in Iraq doing training stuff. And so I said, I took the job, I got to get a job. We all have to have a paycheck. And so the day I land in DC to in process with this company, a guy from the agency calls me. It's like, "Hey, your paperwork came through, are you ready to go to vetting?" And I was like, "Oh, you got to be kidding me." But this guy had done my dad a favor. and vouched for me, and I felt obligated that I needed to do that job.
It's the right
It was
thing
the
to
right
do.
thing to do.
Absolutely.
And so I did. That was during the surge in 07. So like in the spring, I guess it would have been of 07, I went over to Iraq and I worked out at this range complex that was out east of Baghdad. I don't know, maybe like 10 miles out east of Baghdad. And I trained soldiers out there. The kind of the MIT teams or whatever they were calling them back in those days. They would roll into this range complex and they'd been tasked with, various things to do. And a lot of them weren't really trained to do what they were being tasked with. And so they would come out to us and we would do what we could with them, but we only have them for maybe 24, 48 hours. And so we were doing our best to just try to get these guys spun up on just, small unit tactics, improve their marksmanship stuff, react to contact drills, just basic stuff. But if you're not trained to do it, it's like anything else. It's difficult. If you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know. Right. Exactly. Unless you're Candace Owens, and then you don't know.
But you know.
And speaking, listen, we got to go ahead and throw it up here.
Ask those questions.
We don't like
What's
Candace.
wrong with you, Mom? Why are you so scared?
Every time we mention Candace's name, we have to pull that up when she makes an appearance. So it's kind of a show thing. So bear with our craziness. So
yeah, no worries.
If you don't know, you don't know. So you're teaching them the basics. Tie your shoe. Don't flag your fellow buddy.
Yeah, I mean, kind of at that
else?
level. And we were also training Iraqi guys at the same time.
Which
they
makes
would
sense.
Come out and use the facility as well. So we lived inside of an Iraqi camp, really.
Were you rocking interpreters at that point and NGOs, or did you guys, any of you, speak the language?
No, I mean, I could say maybe like 5 words in Arabic, to the gate guards that we would have to roll past when we would
Exactly.
go out.
Right. Or to the local distilleries and other places and other accommodations, right?
Yeah, but so most of the MIT team guys that would come through had interpreters with them. And then the Iraqi guys that would come through, that could be a bit of a struggle getting through some conversations with them. But sometimes they would have a guy that, spoke a little bit of English. So there were days but a lot of it was just kind of monkey see, monkey do level of training.
It wasn't a clap on the back, a tap on the helmet, two different types of communication right there. So, all right. So you're doing that. And you're in Iraq. I just have to ask, not to fast forward or anything, because I'm not interested in that. But I'm just saying, when did you get the agency knock? Because that always comes back around, right? So did they come back and court you again and see if you were interested at any point?
Well, so I did that job in Iraq for a little while, and then I did some work in Africa, and then I ended up coming back to the United States, and my wife and I moved to Texas, and I ended up going to work for the State Department, doing the high threat protection stuff for the State Department.
Makes sense.
And in this time, the agency had changed some of their requirements. And so I needed to go over and get some experience in the protection world before they would give me a look. And so I was over there doing State Department stuff, and just, life has a funny way of, interrupting your plans as it goes. And so I ended up getting hurt over there during a rocket attack. And it wasn't the rocket that got me. It was getting away from it kind of thing.
Wave. Yep.
And I ended up rupturing, bulging some discs in my thoracic spine.
Oh, dude, you and me both.
And so for about 6 months, I was getting these weird twinges up and down my leg, and I couldn't quite figure it out. And then I went home, and like the morning I got home, I was in my kitchen and I was getting ready to go get coffee or something. And I literally have like this spasm fit where the entire right side of my body wouldn't move. And I was like on the ground, and I couldn't move.
Yes.
Yeah. So same thing. We had the same thing. That's crazy. Go ahead.
Okay. And so it was, I mean, not that I'm like a really tough guy or anything, but I've had some kidney stones before, and you can still crawl down the hallway kind of thing. I couldn't move.
No, it's paralysis. It's absolutely, there's nothing left. Yeah.
It was I mean, it hurt, but it was actually, was almost scarier than just painful. It's like I've never not been able to just kind of move at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I go to the doctors and they start telling me, yeah, you have these bulge discs in your thoracic spine and it's touching nerves and these kind of things. And, that's why when you sneeze funny, you get these lightnings up and down your legs. And so I'm laying in my bed feeling sorry for myself. And the guy from the agency calls. Oh, your background information came through again.
Like I said, it's like clockwork, guys. It's like clockwork. Like, I don't know his backstory. We've never spoken before, but it's all pretty systematic. It's all the same story. Go ahead. So you get that you're laying there, ambulatory mess. You're just not able to move. You get the knock. Okay, so what's your first thought? You're just like, listen, does the CIA have the worst timing in the world, or what was it to you, and what was your thought process during this?
Well, the first thing I thought was, like an idiot, I'm like, I could do it. I could still do it.
Yeah.
And I, and then you kind of start to you think about it, and you start like, look, man, if you're not an asset, you're a liability.
Correct.
And at this point in my life where I was physically, I would have been a liability.
That's right. That's right.
And I, as much as I wanted to do it and still go and see if I could have made it through that vetting system and all that stuff, I would have been a liability, and that's not fair to other guys that are out there doing it. And it's just, if you can't perform at a high level, you shouldn't be out there. Yeah, and I couldn't do it.
The brain box isn't the problem, right? The brain box isn't the issue. It's a skill will issue. You know what I mean? You just can't do it. Your day of reckoning, at least you had a chance to kind of go back in and cut your teeth on some other stuff. Is mine happened on 9/11. So here I am in the middle of, exactly what you're saying. I mean, I was on C470 when mine happened, and I was doing about 78 miles an hour, and my entire right leg went out. Ooh. And I should be dead. So, and I'm talking, I would just be walking down the street, boom, face first. So after 3-level fusion, a discectomy, 16 operations, spinal cord stimulator, the whole works, 265 pounds, 64% body fat. I just said, okay, I'm done with the drugs. I'm flushing it all down the toilet. Time to do 1 push-up, time to do 10 seconds. Holy crap, I think I'm going to have a heart attack. Okay, tomorrow's 2 push-ups in 20 seconds. And, now I've got my life back and my body back. But I'll tell you, man, people just don't understand. So it was hard for me. I was just like, I looked at Olivia. I'm like, I want to go in. And of course we use the excuse of marriage and our lives together. But we also knew that physically there was no way that I could perform at the level that I once did. So you get that call, you think you can do it. What happens next?
Kind of just, reality is it's not going to happen. And it took a minute, and I should say it took a lot more than a minute. It took, probably 10 years to really get over that mentally, that part of my life was over. Sure. You're always thinking in the back of your head, oh, I could still do it. I could still do it. And, but I couldn't. And so it was you transition into becoming a stay-at-home dad. My wife had, God bless her, had been burning the candle at both ends, full-time job, raising twins, infant twins on her own, while I was off, in Africa and in Iraq and doing these kind of things. And it was time for me to, do my fair share in a different way, do my job, my other job,
sure.
the important job, being a dad, being a father.
The hard one.
Right. The actual really hard job.
Yeah.
And so that's what I did. And I kind of became this stay-at-home dad. And I don't, you think things are kind of a curse or something like that. But when you actually, years and years later, when you can really have some perspective, you look at it and you realize it was a blessing. That injury that I got, and all the pain that it put me through and all those kind of things, it really was a blessing in disguise. And that I got to be there with my kids almost every day from the time they were, 4, maybe 5, probably 4, until they went off to college. And so you can't put a price on that. And some things didn't work out the way I'd hoped they would with regards to, the grand adventures I wanted to go off and have in life. But the important stuff, I had enough. I had enough adventure. I had enough this, that. I feel like it took a long time to realize that I put enough in the middle, and, I didn't put as much as other people did, but I put more than others, and kind of accepting that took a long time for me to do. And, there's I can go down the whole rabbit hole of, what I ended up doing to come to all these realizations and things like that. But I started realizing that I was having some cognitive problems. And so I contacted this place up in Denver at the CU Medical Center called the Marcus Institute for Brain Health. And I went in there, and they do a 2-day cognitive evaluation. They give you all these tests and all this kind of stuff, and they sit you around this table, and they kind of give you some hard truths that can be, it's hard. When somebody tells you that you have, mild traumatic brain injuries, you've had dozens and dozens of them, probably, in the more that they're learning about what can cause these mild traumatic brain injuries, you could have hundreds, if thousands of them from the explosions and stuff like that. Not necessarily the massive explosions, the 1,500 pound, 500 pound bombs going off right next to you, which, I was lucky. I never got hit by a VBED or an IED. So, but the lower level exposure is just the repetitive nature of it. And
but an RPG is no slouchy thing, man. So, I understand IEDs and VBEDs, and they're completely a different type of animal, but to a person who's out there unprotected and is wearing some low-level body armor or mid-level body armor is taking RPGs, that's bad. And I was going to ask you, if you took that impact to the back, unless you had secondary impact, you had to suffer TBI from that. It's just, there's no way that force is only staying right in the center of your back. It's got to be impacting you. So that's crazy, man. I know so many people with the same exact story who one of my good friends, he's a single amputee, and he had repetitive TBI trauma, and another good friend who's a double amputee, Marine Corps Force Recon, who works for the agency now, and he's over in Ukraine right now, suffers from TBIs as well, from repetitive explosions. So it's crazy.
Well, I didn't get hit with an RPG.
No, I know, but no, I know you didn't. What I'm saying is that it was near impact, right? So you were in epicenter.
Well, that rocket that I got hurt from, I jumped over this Jersey barrier next to this T-wall, and I kind of landed funny. And right when I landed, I heard this rocket go over my head. I could hear the motor in it. And so when I heard that, I twisted my body and crumpled myself down into that little gap in there. Sure. And they think that when I twisted my body that way, that's what bulged those discs out in my thoracic spine.
My story was cooler. My story was cooler.
Yeah.
Let's go with listen, this guy took an RPG to the back and he lived. No, I thought it was secondary, right? Of course, I didn't think you took an RPG square on, because we wouldn't be talking. But I thought it was secondary, secondary wave concussive force or fragmentation or something took you out. But either way, even that, you're moving so quick. You're jumping and you're just trying to get out of the way. It's like at this point, you're not even worried about 2 points of contact. You're just like, get down as fast as humanly possible. Still,
it was weird. It was weird. Because in the moment, I didn't be like, oh, I screwed up my back. It was
no. You don't know. When I did mine, it took almost 10 years to show what happened to you, because we weren't popping MRIs 28 years ago. They weren't giving people MRIs. They weren't flying them stateside to do MRIs. So a lot of that stuff went unrecognized. And if it wasn't prominent and evident, and those minor fractures in the spine and having degenerative disc disease and spinal stenosis, I have it all. And that just increased the verbacity of the whole thing. And that was it, man. I was cooked. And some of those things go unnoticed. How long did it take you before you knew you were in trouble? 24 hours and the adrenaline comes down and you start feeling it, or was it longer than that?
Well, I woke up the next day and was at work, and I was walking into a building, and the door was closing in front of me, and I literally just reached out to grab the door before it shut, and I got this really weird pain that like shot up and down my spine, and I was, that doesn't feel right, but being a kind of a meathead sometimes, I just like, oh, you just need to stay in the gym, keep working, and it'll go away. And it just kind of started getting worse and worse and worse. And that's when, like, I think it was 6 months later, that's when I ended up on the floor, where I couldn't even move. But the TBI stuff, they think had a lot to do with, I got in a few fistfights in my day, and I didn't win them all. So I got knocked out more than once in a fight. But, we used to jump on runways. You hit your head on runways. You get knocked unconscious a few times.
Absolutely.
I was doing the Best Ranger competition in 2005, and I fell. I fell about, I don't know, 12 or 15 feet, and my lower body caught the mat, but my head didn't, and just drove into the ground.
That sounds familiar.
And so they said, yeah, you have, mild traumatic brain injury, and that explains a lot of these symptoms that I was having. And, so I kind of started to go down this process of trying to just fix these things that were wrong with me. I was suffering from depression, and I had no reason to be depressed, but I was suffering from depression. So I kind of went through a lot of different things to do to try to make myself better. And I, in varying degrees of success with certain things. And then I ended up at Johns Hopkins University to do a psilocybin research study, and ended up going in there, and you get dosed with psilocybin, and you go through this experience. It's kind of hard to put into words, but you go in there, and you wear an eye mask, so you're not really, it's not like anything is coming in, it's all just internal.
Sensory deprivation,
and you go through this process of psilocybin, and I don't know if you know much about what psilocybin does to your brain, but it had a tremendous effect on me. And it really kind of changes a lot of things that, like they call it your default mode network. The signals that run in your brain can kind of run on repeat, just over and over and over again, from having, been in the military and done these jobs where you're kind of just always in that mindset of something's going to go wrong. What am I going to do when it goes wrong? So you start to like forecast disaster all the time. And that becomes kind of your default mode network. And that's the way your brain runs. It's always kind of preparing for something to go wrong. And it's very hard to relax when you're always like preparing for something to go wrong. It's hard to be very present in the environment because you're always thinking, well, if something goes wrong right now, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And they're not even realistic scenarios, but you just run them through your brain all the time. And, what they think that psilocybin does is it helps those regions of your brain to quiet down that default mode network. It kind of is like it helps dissolve your ego to some extent. And it allows you to, or has allowed me to, then you kind of to rewrite the news signal. You get to create the news signal in your brain and what you want it to be. And so for me, it was very therapeutic, and it's helped. I mean, of all the things that I've done, I would put that at the top of the list as being the most beneficial to me, my mental health, and through the whole process. It was it's pretty wild. I mean,
no, listen, man. There's a lot. I know a lot of guys that went under psychedelics treatment, and it was so effective for them. And I know the more aggressive patterns of LSD and other types of, and that's not necessarily as effective for some, but mushrooms and others. I know a lot of vets who've worked through with peyote, and they've had amazing successes with it. I'm a beneficiary of, and I can say this now because my clearance is well expired. I worked at Intel, by the way, so I had different stuff. So that's how we cross pollinate. I mean, you were knocking doors and I was pointing. So I had the same issues, a lot of it with ADHD, and struggling to do comparative analysis with intake versus disseminating what was actual fact and what was created by myself. So before I even went in the military, of course, I did not talk about this to my recruiter, and certainly didn't tell this to CID because, I'm going to lose a clearance. So, but I messed around with mushrooms, psychedelics, and it had a massive, I went from a 0.96 in high school, had an IQ that was off the charts. Second grade, I was 12th grade reading level. Fifth grade, I flunked out. They moved me to seventh grade after doing some tests over the summer. So I'd always had the intelligence. I was lazy. And it was tough to make the connection. And so after doing psychedelics, I went into my A school. I got number 1 in my A school. I had some of the highest scores ever. I got 2 C schools out of it. And I just thrived in Intel. I just did. There's no rhyme or reason for that. Then when I got out, my college was the same way. But whatever disconnect that I had, or cognitive dissonance from reality, I absolutely give 100% credit to psychedelics, that my life changed the moment that I did that. And even though it wasn't under a controlled environment and it wasn't something that was more therapeutically applied, I think it had that ancillary benefit to me and my growth. So I know what you're talking about. I know the connections you can make with that, and reconnections you can make with that. So it's amazing.
Yeah. And I've looked into the other things that are out there, like the ibogaine treatments, and that's kind of, everybody's going to make a personal choice on what they feel is the right thing for them to do. I drank probably too much when I was a kid, but as an adult, I never had any substance abuse issues and things like that.
Right.
And I think the ibogaine treatment is definitely, from what I have looked into, is geared more towards people that have some substance abuse issues, and it helps with that. And again, I could be wrong. I'm certainly not an expert at this stuff, but
either am I.
For me, in my experience, the psilocybin stuff was amazing, and it really just it helps dissolve your ego a lot. And I felt that has been, the male ego especially is so fragile. We are kind of when you really want to get into the discussion, we are definitely the weaker sex when it comes to a lot of stuff. And the ego, I think,
here while you and I have talked for an hour and 15 minutes, and she hasn't slapped me yet, but that takes some level of patience too. So I'm with you, man. I agree when you say weaker sex. I saw what she went through in the delivery room, and I have no desire to participate in that at all.
No, there wasn't much jealousy on my part when it came to
no. I was like, does anyone have any mushrooms or LSD? Because I'm ready to talk. Do you need a Valium, dear? And I'm like, she doesn't. I do. You can just hook me up with a shot right now. I'll take all the Demerol you can give me. It's tough. It's hard. Women have I see what my daughter goes through, and starts at a very young age where, every 3 weeks she has to go through horrible pain. And I'm just like, it's just crazy to see what they go through. So I'm all about the respect. I mean, we want to kill each other sometimes, but there's love. Did you have a question you've been sitting here for an hour, and of course, two military guys are going to start yapping.
It's 2 military guys, and I just listen.
You know the drill. You know how this goes.
I listen and learn.
You got to have one question for Ben besides the one we always ask. Is it? Do you have one for him?
Well, no, mine have nothing to do with military or anything like that. It's more like just, you're from Colorado. Do you like the sports teams there? That's
all right. That's a good question. Go for it. Sports teams in Colorado, yay or nay?
Yeah, I'm a big Avalanche guy. Hockey is probably the biggest sport in our family. We all love hockey.
Well, you are an honorary member of our family.
You have no idea. You have no idea what you're talking. I mean, like you have no idea who you're talking to. We're talking like first game of the season, Detroit Red Wings, 95-96, honorary member. Yeah. Florida Panthers, game 4. I was in boot. And Petty Officer Zabrowski walks up, and this must have been at I think it went to double overtime, and Yui Krupp finally did it on the right side wing from a shot, left-handed shot. And Zabrowski, BB stacker, he was aviation ordnance man, an AO, so BB stacker. And he comes over me, and he's just a big pole, dude, just big mustache and barrel chested, spear. And I swear it must have been like a 0145. Like it was early. It was early. Like the Balls watch was still on. Balls to Four was on. And I crack open an eye. And of course, I pop two, and I'm skivvied out in T-shirt. And he looks at me, and he goes, I just want to let you know your Colorado Avalanche just beat my Florida Panthers, and it's going to be the worst fucking day of your life tomorrow. Thank you, petty officer. You know, he liked me a lot. He actually recommended me for honor man. So he, and he kicked the living shit out of me the next day. And of course I got it. But yeah, so we're huge fans. Just love Colorado. Been watching them for 26 years. I watched the Nordiques, so we're big fans too. We love them.
Yeah, we were those people who, with the old McNichols Arena, we couldn't afford tickets. So we'd go there in the middle of the second period and walk up the hill to the smoking section and
hop the gate,
light
a cigarette, put it out, walk in
and go find seats that no one's sitting in. We'd catch the last half of the game. And we did that a lot.
Real quick one, Ben. I know this is your interview, but it's great. So we've got a jersey. It's got everybody from 1995 pretty much all the way to like 2004 on autograph and everything. So, I mean, from Bork to Blake to Forsberg to Joey to Peter. Everybody's on there. Oh, my man.
I got this sitting on my desk. This
my
is
man.
Adam
that's
Foote.
That's the Arby's glass. That's the Arby's glass. We had them too. We didn't even like Arby's, and we went to Arby's to get those glasses. I remember. Absolutely. That's the Arby's glass. So I'm sitting there. It's her birthday. And there's the side interest where everyone comes out. Like Cam Russell had just come out. Dave Reed had come out. And the Danny High Note was playing. And so he comes out. And of course, she's there. We're looking to get the one autograph we don't have, number 33. We don't have Patrick, and just elusive as hell. So I'm like, well, I'm just going to walk around to the front entrance and just go smoke a cigarette and walk around there. And all of a sudden, John Kelly comes out with Peter McNabb, and they walk out and they see me, and they go and they just look at me. And Peter goes hi. Peter was huge, and then Kelly's not, and Kelly goes, "Waz right behind us. I wouldn't leave." And then he gets in a taxi and he goes, and then, Patrick Waugh comes out and he's like, "Hey, how are you?" And I'm like, "I'm Patrick, I'm doing well." And I said, I got to do it. And he's like, "It's okay. Come on. What do you need?" And I said, "It's my girlfriend." Girlfriend's birthday. And she would love a signature. Now, of course, I'm lying through my teeth, right? And I'm like, I want the autograph. I'm like, screw her.
Yeah.
So I'm like, here you go. And I hand him the poster, just thinking he's going to go Patrick Waugh 33. And he goes, what's her name? And I'm like, fuck. Well, at least I'll get laid for this. And he goes, he's like, Olivia. He's like, Olivia, okay. Olivia, all my best. Patrick Waugh 33. He's like, here you go. Talk to you later. And I'm just like, thanks, buddy. And walk over to Olivia. I'm like, honey, look what I got for you.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
So anyway,
I had a friend this would have been like 99. Well, I guess it would have been, because when did they win with Ray Bork?
2001.
2001, 2002. 2001 season, yeah.
2001.
It was right around that time frame. He was in Denver and he was, he's like, I'm just going to go play a quick 9 or something. And he's up on the tee box and the guy comes over the announcement and says, "Hey, you on the tee, hold up. I got a twosome coming out with you." So he's like, okay, here we go. I'm going to get two hackers. And it was Ray Bork and Patrick Waugh.
Oh, so they're amazing golfers. They're good golfers. They're great golfers.
Well, I got my story now. Back in 2000, we went to the Burgundy and
this was Burgundy and White in Colorado Springs.
Burgundy and White game, Colorado Springs, and it was Tanguay, Messier, Hayduke. They were all rookies.
Jurors was there too.
Jury was there. There was
Tanger's there. Skula was there.
Skula was there. Yeah. There was a bunch of them, and we found out where they were going to go eat dinner after the game.
No, that was when we went to Old Chicago, but we just were in Outback at the time. Trust me.
And so I saw them all sitting there, and I was like, I'm 20, and I'm in just tight little white tank top, baggy jeans, and I'm like, I'm going to go over there and get their autograph.
Total smoke show, Ben. Total smoke show.
They asked me for my phone number. And I, of course, Tanguay and Hayduke asked me for my phone number. And I, of course, said, I've got a boyfriend, but I'll take an autograph.
And the thing is, Ben, here's the thing you got to respect is that I'm built like a hockey player, and I dwarf Hayduke, Tanguay, Skula, all of them. Like, I'm 6'4", 225. And I'm pretty ripped at the time. So I'm at the bar, and she goes, they asked me for my phone number. I said, well, you gave it to him, right? And she goes, no. And she goes, why? I don't want to do that to you. I said, you can sleep with them as long as you get season tickets. Get your ass over there and go hustle. What are you doing?
Give me some season tickets.
That's right.
Yeah.
Do you remember what I did for you with Patrick Waugh? No, go over there.
That's my celebrity hit on story. But.
So Ben, listen, tell everyone where can they go. I know that the URL's right there, but walk them through the process about the vodka. And we're going to ask you one final question after this, but we wanted to make sure that you have a chance to plug what you need to plug, and then we'll ask you the final question of the show and get you the hell out of here. How does that sound?
Yeah, that's good. But yeah, it's blackhatdistillery.com, and then we'll go to that page. There is an age gate there, which is, you got to make sure you're 21. You click on that, it takes you to the website, and then up at the top on one of the headers, it should say shop now, or even have a Tonto up there, and you click on that, and it'll take you to the buy now page. You have to put in your zip code in there to make sure it's a zip code that we can deliver to. And then, yeah, you just add to the cart, and that's how it goes. And then they fulfill the orders on their end. And it can take 4 to 6 days to get it in the mail, but they'll send you the tracking information and show up at your door as long as you live in a state that we can ship to. But yeah, you can follow us on Instagram at realtontovodka.com or at realtontovodka on Instagram. And, we do giveaways and stuff like that from time to time, and, just kind of keep up with what's going on with us.
Awesome. Yeah. Once again, I asked for an empty bottle, so that I just wanted the actual physical bottle, and I was going to put water on it and stick it back up there. You can do that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that's what Jeremy's hooking me. He's like, "Do you want it autographed?" I'm like, "You know what, Jerry? No, I don't think I want Chris Tonto's autograph. No. Yes, dude. Of course I want his autograph. Are you crazy?" Here's the last question of the night.
The most important question.
The only question is, you must let the music continue to play as it goes through, and this is the only question that matters on this show. Hundreds have answered.
Incorrectly.
No, Liv. No, they've answered correctly.
No.
You just don't like the answer.
No, I'm the woman, which means it's incorrect.
Okay. Anyway, moving on. The question has been asked 100 times, and there are many different answers, but there's only one right one. You'll have to figure out which one that is. As we put up the question that everyone has been asked and answered, does pineapple belong on pizza? Yes or no? Let's let the music play. Take a second to think about that, because there is only one right answer, and we don't want you to make a mistake. All right. So, Ben, the final question is, does pineapple belong on pizza?
And your answer will depend on if you come back again or not.
That's not true. I will invite
control
you.
the guests.
I will. She does. She is the producer. So, all right, Ben, your answer is?
Well, I'm a very much live and let live kind of guy. So if you want to put pineapple on your pizza, be my guest. But I won't eat it.
Oh, he won't eat it.
Oh, there it is. That's a very, very. Listen, you got me on that one. You tricked me. That is the only
politician.
This is the
political answer.
This is the only answer. Congratulations, you got it right, as most people do who are sane and not delusional. You got it right, my friend. Pineapple most assuredly does not belong on pizza. I'm sorry, Liv. This is you're 13-1 in the last 14. So I think it's decisive that we've already decided that pineapple most assuredly doesn't belong on pizza.
My answer is the only correct answer, so it doesn't matter.
Right, whatever. Folks, go to Black Hat Distillery. You can also go to Tonto's Gear Locker. Make sure you follow him. Hey, Ben, it's been a real pleasure, man. It was wonderful to get to know you. Thank you for serving our country.
And thanks for being patient with us today and
yeah,
getting on late.
and thanks for being
no
such
problem.
a good friend to Tonto. We love him. We adore him. And tell Jeremy, slap him for us. We would appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Ben,
Thanks
have a
for
wonderful
having me,
night.
guys.
You got it, brother.
Take it easy.
You too. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Ben Morgan, folks. That was fun. That was a good one. Interesting.
Glad we were able to make it work. Oh my gosh, it's been.
Yeah, it was really hard to get on tonight. We're struggling with a lot of different technical issues, from power to internet to computers. But I guess we missed a very big raid on Rumble, a huge raid, and I apologize for that. We never want to do that. We would always love to be on, but it is what it is. Want to thank Ben for being on, and of course Barry making that connection, Jeremy making that connection, Chris Tonto for making that connection, and very, very excited to have him on. All right, so we got a busy show for you. We're going to have to make up some donations because I don't even think we have one.
No, I did put out that I guess what we need to do is before the beginning of the show, before the interview starts, that we will still take them. We'll just put them on after the guest is off. So, yes, when we have guests, you can still donate. We just won't put them in until after the interview or after the interview portion of the guest.
I think people have just grown accustomed to waiting, and then like at 8, whatever. But we got to put up the clock because because we were late, that's what happened. So we'll put up the go clock. Listen, we're going to put on
dumbshow.com/donate.
Yes. And I'm going to put up 45 minutes on the clock because we didn't come on until,
it's like 7:20.
Yeah. Like 1920 is when we came on. 1917 is when we came on. So we're going to put it on for, we'll just do 45 minutes. Call it good. 45 minutes. All right. Well, let's get to it, folks. Overtime is up. Goal is ready to go. Let's rock and roll. We got a busy show to do it. If you have not had a chance, please share, like, and subscribe. We have a lot of people over on Twitter. Facebook, we're getting our butts kicked. I don't know why. Now it's starting to come back up. Let's rock and roll. Natalie Witters on the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. Interesting little video. Let's go ahead and listen to this.
Mike Johnson wants to go on Fox, and his big line is that his staffer came up with this quote, "The barbarians are inside the gate." Well, I don't know, Mike Johnson. You have power to do something about it. I don't. So do something about it. Investigate these people. Make their lives living hell. Make it hard for them to organize, right? Our side was literally shut down because we raised extremely valid questions about mandated COVID vaccines. They destroyed the show. They tried to. They put you in prison. Have these people's lives gotten even 0.001% demonstrably worse? I would actually argue it's gotten better. Their membership has only grown. They've seen literally no ramifications for explicitly calling for overthrow of the United States government. They're going to call us authoritarians anyway, right? They're going to say we're dictators. So maybe we should act like it if that means we can actually, preserve the country that is the United States.
I would happen to agree with her.
Yeah, I agree with Natalie Winters. I don't very much like the House, but I loathe the Senate. And I can't go into a bunch of details, but I will tell you that we got selected for a commercial. I can't show you the commercial. The only time you're going to be able to see the commercial is if it's selected. But for the Senate committee is looking for podcasters to do some President Trump. These are pro-Trump senators to do some podcast videos and sharing their thoughts in 30 seconds on President Trump and what he's done for this term, and how we need senators that are actually going to support him and back him up. And if it's selected, it's already been entered, and if it's selected, it'll go national. And this is a pretty cool and big honor for us. So we're pretty excited that we were even mentioned. So I'll let you know if we're selected, and if we are, you'll see it. Darla Harkness Moore says, good on my end. Good, Darla. Wonderful to see you.
Would you mind turning the fan down?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I already turned it down once, but I'll turn it down again.
Okay, sorry.
No, I'm going to go to 2. So, yeah, I agree with her. 120. I mean, your thoughts on this? I mean, I'm sick of this crap. Go after these DSA people. Go after Hassan Piker. I mean, they're not going to go after every conservative voice like they already have. I mean, at this point, what are we waiting for here?
Here's the thing. I am a Republican. I'm a conservative. But our party has become known the party of pussies because they don't freaking do anything.
No, they don't.
They sit there and they watch and they take it and they bend over and take it up the keister because the left does every single thing they can do to make our lives miserable. But yet when we've got the power to do something, they don't.
Right.
Let's take the redistricting. It took Virginia and Spanberger being a complete asshat and doing what she tried to do. And then Texas going, we're not going to let that happen, for other states to finally step up.
Yeah.
They won't take the initiative to do it themselves.
No, they're afraid of something.
And it's ridiculous.
We
it's
have a mandate.
Why?
Use it. Do it.
Why? What are you guys afraid of?
Well, they're the uniparty, right? I mean, that's really what this comes down to, is that's the only explanation that makes sense. By the way, I want to say it's nice to see so many people over on Instagram. Usually Instagram's 0 most nights, so it's nice to see 5, 10, whatever. We've actually grown our Instagram page by 20,000 people, so it's nice to see. Want to thank Darla Hurst in it, and she says, "Wish I could help more. God bless y'all." That's enough. $10 is amazing. If everyone gave $10 right now, we would hit goal in minutes.
Your coffee should be coming its way very soon. By the way.
Yeah, I mean, we've got 100, I don't even know where we're at on Rumble, so 150 plus. There's no reason why we couldn't hit goal right now. If everyone gave $5, we would make 2 nights of goals. So see what you can do to help out. So I agree. I mean, that's a no-brainer, and she says it right. I'm sick of this. We need to, like, if you can't pass the SAVE Act, then what can you do?
Nothing.
It's 83% approval in the United States. It's the easiest no-brainer in the world.
Which I don't understand why they won't. We
know why
they got the House. We've got the Senate. Let's pass something.
We know why they won't.
Because they're cowards?
Yes, and there's some districts that will be affected by that, and they know that their votes will be challenged. Some of their heavy red districts will be impacted by this. I don't care if every single vote in every election is not legal. Then
it doesn't really matter.
Results are tainted. Do you see what President Trump just found? Is that they found something like 46,000 votes in a sample of 2.7 million something. No. It was heavier than that. It was like 26 million votes. But that's still 40,000 votes that were cast that were illegal votes, and they're going to be releasing this soon. I just saw this flash come across last night, and although I don't believe a lot of the stuff I've heard so far, this is actually done by the Department of Justice, and this seems pretty legit to me. If this is true, and you just go ahead and times that number, so say 26,000, that or 26 million, that's fine. There's 320 million people, so you would have to times that by what? 900%. So the math would be not 40,000, but what? 2 million? 3 million?
That's a lot of votes.
That's a lot of votes. That's enough to literally change multiple elections.
That's a lot of votes.
Yes, it is. Anonymous donated $25. Thank you, Anonymous. Olivia, it says. Is it for Olivia?
No, I don't know I did that. It was supposed to say nice guest. Thank you, Matt and Olivia. It looks like I probably only copied Olivia instead.
Well, nice guest. We appreciate you. You guys are nice viewers. So let's see. Let's get this thing moving on up at $35. That's not bad. We're going to ticky. Overtime is moving up. Remember, folks, if we hit it within the next 35 minutes, we will have another half hour tonight. And who can not stand looking at Olivia for 30 more minutes? I mean, that's all I do. Sincerely, that's all I do. Patricia Good donated $21.10. Thank you, Patricia. $56.10 is where we're at. We're going to take that up a little bit more. Looks like we got John Stillwell coming up too. Let's try this, everyone. Donate $5 to $10 theory. That's right. Everyone donate $5 to $10. Let's see if it's possible. See if I'm full of shiznit or not. But Mr. Stillwell started it off with 10. That's where we're at, and that's going to put us at 66.10. I'm going to take this up a little bit more. Time to play a video, and we'll put some more donations in as they come in. Boston Mayor Michelle Wu essentially docks.
You like strawberry?
You like strawberry? No strawberry for you.
No strawberry for you? You like mani-pedi?
Let's talk about ICE. They have
you.
been trying to lease nearly 250 parking spaces in the city of Boston. You've gone on record strongly opposing any expansion of their offices. It's really unclear if they're expanding right now. Have you heard any more about their efforts to expand, if they exist?
We haven't had direct communication from them, but this is not a surprise because even...
So Wu-Tang Clan here has decided that there are a bunch of buildings and offices that ICE is subletting, and they are going to dox the information of whoever is booking these. She's putting people, federal officers, in danger.
You make me happy.
She's absolutely a moron.
When we've asked for specific information, it's been difficult or impossible to get it. As I understand, this was part of an open process to start laying the groundwork for potential procurement or what's called an RFP to actually get parking spots. So it seems like this is an early precursor step. We, as a city, will be filing another FOIA request for any responses that have come in from the Boston area so that we know what information they may be sifting through. We strongly oppose any expansion of their efforts here and would encourage and will be reaching out to property owners to try to ensure that they're not adding to a surge of unlawful.
Right. So obstruction of justice. That's what you're going to do. Why aren't these people in jail? She's openly admitting she's going to obstruct justice with a federal agency, a law enforcement agency. I'm going to call and dox them. I'm going to release their information. I'm going to subvert their ability to get any type of headquarters or leases that can create safe havens for these officers or operating bases in high density areas, places of retreat where they can fall back on. And she's going to dox them and let people know where these are at. Yeah, she needs to be in jail.
Yeah. She can do mani and pedi for the other inmates.
I love you long time, make you holla. We'll talk about that later. CBS poll, 58% of Democrats now see socialism as favorable, and 31% of Democrats have an unfavorable opinion of capitalism.
What the hell is wrong with these people?
84% of the Democratic Party either is favorable of socialism or sees capitalism.
It's all those freaking white females. Lib-labs. Jeez.
So B.A. Boyd says, I'm looking into this. I've had multiple emails about Klein's family member who allegedly pushed somebody in the parking lot, and then the police officers let him go and didn't do anything. So it says, B.A. Boyd says, should have been here in front of Front Royal last night at a board of supervisors meeting where an elected official pushed a 70-year-old resident to the ground and the sheriff department watched and did nothing. I saw the video. They were a little broken up. I didn't see the actual push. I saw the aftermath, but there was no arrest. I'm not happy. I need better video. These videos stop in the middle of it. But at this point, like, this pisses me off. It's assault. It's assault any way you cut it. And the only way that officer would not have done anything is if the older man simply said, I don't want to press charges. That's the only way that it would have been left off.
Or if the old man touched him first.
Right. And I didn't see any of those things. I don't know. I can't speak on it. But when it comes to the Kleins, yeah, I'm not
Georgie, poor Georgie.
Yeah, I'm not very pro jump into the Kleins camp. These people are sanctimonious dickheads as far as I'm concerned. But Boyd, I'm looking into it. If you can find me the video of him being pushed, Scott Purdy's going to be in here. We'll talk about it on Friday.
Yeah, he's coming in next Friday.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. We will. Trust me, I'm not talking about it.
Scott Lloyd.
Yeah, but Purdy's going to be here too.
Yeah, so Scott Lloyd will be here on Friday. You said Scott Purdy will be here. Scott Lloyd will be
Matt
here.
Purdy will be here.
And Matt Purdy will be here on the 7th.
The fact that I even got their first name right is impressive at my age. So I need to see if Propitia's right for me. What is that stuff that has jellyfish? Ovum.
What's it called?
It's not Provasic. That's the thing in
blue emu. No, that's
that's that pain reliever, that pain cream, like Australian Dream. I'm like, what the fuck is it? We come up with these names.
I don't remember.
It's got Prevagen. Prevagen is in it. Yeah, Prevagen. That's what it's called. Prevagen. Yeah. See, Prevagen. Here's the CBS poll.
Do this thing that Ben was talking about.
Yeah,
whatever that is.
It's mushrooms.
Oh.
Here's CBS poll.
So our new CBS News poll out this morning finds 58% of Democrats have a positive view of socialism, and just 32% have a positive view of capitalism. What do you make of that?
What I make of it is that people are struggling. They're struggling because the cost of groceries is too high.
Wait a second. The cost of groceries are too high, so you want socialism? Where we can bring in wheelbarrows of cash for a loaf of bread, or sell our firstborn to go ahead and get the bingo card on the trash receptacle that the mayor or governor or El Presidente is going to raffle off? Give me a break.
Cost of gas is too high. It's too hard to see
You guys remember when Jimmy Carter had to go ahead and take the last number of our license plate and separate it between odds and evens, and odds could fuel on one day and evens could fuel on the other? Do you guys remember that? I do. You remember the gas prices under Biden? I remember that. Are you kidding me?
doctor, and when you do, the cost of that is too high as well. They're not asking for
right, because instead they'll just put you in a gulag or a Siberian death camp instead, or put you in a cattle car, and you won't need health care. When there's socialism, they'll just off your ass because you don't meet the master race qualifications.
a lot. Now, they just want to go to work, make a good living, be able to raise their kids, buy a home before they're 40, take their family on the same vacation.
Sorry, I'm tearing this one up. What, you mean owning private property under socialism?
Wait a second. Haven't you seen Mom Donnie's wonderful work in New York? You don't get to own your own property. They're going to seize it from you and let people live there without you getting any benefit of that. So, yeah. Rent's high.
I love this guy talking about socialism, and he's talking about the dream of owning a home.
You ain't gotta own a home.
That's
in
called
socialism.
the state.
That's called capitalism, when you can own your own home.
Well, it's called many different things. It's certainly not socialism.
On as kids, and right now they're seeing a system that doesn't work for them. Now, I believe socialism is a failed experiment, but I do believe that we need to get results for the American people. And I think when you look at Democratic governors, you see those results. I've been proud to create more jobs than any other governor in our history. The average wage of a new job in Kentucky this year is over $32 an hour. We're building affordable housing in Western Kentucky and in Eastern Kentucky on top of abandoned coal mines with solar panels on the top, so they're affordable to live in too. People just want to see results, want to believe that life can get better.
All
No,
Democrats
they're being
do is
sold.
lie. This Democrat Kentucky governor is saying that Democrats are the ones that are delivering for the cost of living, they're delivering for jobs, and they're doing all these things great to bring down the cost of living for the American people. Well, that is just absolutely false, and let's just look at the numbers. Here are the 5 states in America that are the worst off financially, that are in the most debt. New Jersey, Connecticut, Illinois, Massachusetts, California. All Democrat. Well, he says cost of living. Democrat governors are delivering for the cost of living. Is that true? What are the 5 states in America that have the most expensive cost of living? Well, let's take a look.
Hawaii,
Democrat. Massachusetts, Democrat. California, Democrat. Alaska,
New York.
Doesn't really count because you know that everything in Alaska has to be imported there.
That's correct.
Very expensive. That's why the
Same thing with Hawaii, though, bro. Just
so
saying.
You can't really do much about the cost of living for that aspect. But New York, Democrat. So everywhere that matters, it's all Democrats. So they have the worst financial cases.
Like, I'm down with what this guy's saying, but you got to apply the same logic to Hawaii. They have to import a shit ton too. But Hawaii's also a tourist location, and let's be honest with you, nobody's going to Alaska for a vacation unless they're on a cruise or they're going fishing for salmon.
Bear hunting.
They're gonna go bear hunting, big bear hunting.
They are being sold. These Democrats are being sold socialism with a bow. So they're being sold free public transit, free health care, free child care, free college. They're being sold all of this with a bow without actually doing any research, because who's going to pay for that? Also, if I'm not mistaken, Joe Biden promised free college or college tuition reimbursement. It was just $10,000, but that was struck down by the freaking Supreme Court. So if just college reimbursement is shot down by the Supreme Court, I would assume that free college is going to be shot down as well. So these people are just in their own little bubble. Well, it depends on how you want to pay for it. Yeah, it's they're living in their own little bubble, and they hear the word free and they're like, "Ooh, I'm for free." But they don't use the one brain cell they have left in their head to actually research how that word free and what it really means, because it doesn't mean free.
Listen to yourself. What am I, Emperor Ming here, controlling your mind?
Brainwashed. Exactly. Brainwashed. Every time I hear those guys, especially the governor, this is what I think of every time.
Mr. Madison, what you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Angie Nixon.
Okay, a simple wrong would have done just fine.
Angie Nixon loves drag shows, loves to take kids to drag shows, just loves them, loves those tranny shows. There's nothing wrong with them. They're just good, wholesome fun. Here's your socialist Angie Nixon.
I don't understand, like, there's no sexualization at a drag show. It's just people dressing up and singing and performing. I've taken my children to drag shows, and it's fun. It's entertainment. It's wholesome entertainment, and it's nothing wrong. It's just like I don't get it.
Is that Katani Brown Jackson's mom? I mean, she's wearing African shell beads, and she has our shirt on. She has our friend shirt that we designed and we made, and it says feminists instead. See?
Yeah.
What a piece of crap.
You are mother of the year, taking your kids to a drag show. Oh yeah.
Liv, I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Here it is. Some trivia. Here's some trivia. Here it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So a drag show. What is a drag show?
Well, when I was growing up, a drag show was a bunch of cars racing, but that's just me.
Okay,
That's
so
what I
for a
thought of it.
redneck, you're right. Now, what about today's drag show?
That would be a bunch of men dressing up in women's clothing.
That is correct. And how do you define what a man is? What are the things that make a man?
Penis.
Thank you for the right answer.
Testicles.
Thank you for another right answer.
Yes.
Prostate.
Yes. There you go.
Okay.
Can pee standing up.
Well, you can do that too. It's just one hell
It's
of a mess.
really freaking hard.
Right. It's absolutely
Make sure you're wearing waterproof shoes.
right. So let me make sure I understand. It's all relegated to XY chromosome and their genitalia.
Yes.
So it is about sex.
Yes.
Okay. So when she says it's not about sex, everything about it is about sex.
Yes.
Because the question is mommy, what is that thing? Who is that? Is that Uncle Bob? Is that Uncle Bob dancing on stage in women's clothing? Why is he doing that? Doesn't he have a mom?
Love it. Angela
Angela-
Hills
sorry.
to help you get closer to goal. Yes, thank you so much. It does. Appreciate
Thank you, Angela. That puts us at 91.10. Far cry from there, but 24.15. We're getting
Third of the
closer.
way.
We're getting closer. Little tick up. If you're a parent, you're taking your kid to drag shows. I'm sorry. Everyone's like,
You are not a good parent.
What about Mrs. Doubtfire? What about Tootsie? What about what is that one with Patrick Swayze and Wesley Snipes from Wuhong Labs? P.S. We love you. What's the name? Look it up.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Just look it up. Look it up. Patrick Swayze, Wesley Snipes, in tranny movie. It was from. It's like Wuhong Labs. We love you. It's not Wuhong Labs, but it's something like from Wang Chung tonight. I don't remember what it is. Just look
It was like
up.
a drag movie?
Yes, I said tranny drag movie. Yeah, that's what it is. What's it called?
I'm looking at Birdcage. You got don't
No. Patrick Swayze.
Tu Wong Fu.
Tu Wong Fu with love or some shit.
It's just Tu Wong Fu.
No, it's not. It's Tu Wong Fu. The whole title is really long.
Thanks for everything. Tu Wong Fu, thanks for everything.
Yeah, that's what it is. So, but Tu Wong from Wong Fu, whatever. So
I've never even heard
what
of
about those movies? Well, that's a little bit different. It's a controlled environment. It's a movie. It's not real. And nobody is telling them that Dustin Hoffman was a real woman. Nobody is sitting there saying from Tu Wong Fu, Tu Wang Chung is a real movie. Nobody's saying that Mrs. Doubtfire was really a woman. What you're saying is that this is a person that we have to respect and treat as a woman, and there's no sexual connotation associated with this, but it absolutely is the main premise of it, that it's a man dressed as a woman, period. Because otherwise, if it's just a woman dancing, that we call those strip clubs, and we're not taking kids to those either.
Mrs. Doubtfire was all about a dad just wanting to be able to see his kids.
Right. So a tranny wanted to be with kids. He was a transgender. He was a weirdo.
Exactly.
Mrs. Doubtfire was sick and wrong in the head and delusional. No, at no time did Mrs. Doubtfire, go into.
Oh, darling.
Oh, hello, dear.
Sorry.
I think we've got a Miss Doubtfire.
Do
somewhere.
we?
Yeah, I can't
Somewhere.
see shit right now.
I can't see shit. Can you?
Angie Nixon, we've got that. But here are nutters. This is interesting. Oh, usually my wife just threw ice at me during her postpartum rage. So this is a video of these are all over. I'm talking there's thousands of
I
them.
saw
There
them
are
today. They're
thousands of them. Like, dude, why is this an issue? Like, when did this become a bipartisan issue? When did this become that Republicans and Democrats, do you know how many conservatives? I got into an argument with someone who watches our show today. She called me ignorant. She said, "You're ignorant." And I'm like, what? Why would you say that? I know a lot about this case. You know what? And then she goes, "I didn't say," and I'm like, "Why'd you call me ignorant?" And she goes, "I didn't say you're ignorant." I'm like, "Bullshit. You just said I was ignorant." She's like, "No, I didn't. I didn't say that. You're lying. You're gaslighting me." I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And she goes, you and Olivia should do better." And I'm like, "I don't even know who you are. Like, what the hell? Why are you coming at me, bro?" And then she wrote, "It's right there. What does it say? You're not understanding the whole picture. If that's what you see, understand how psychosis works and actually watch the trial before showing your ignorance this way." I'm like, "Lady, you said I was ignorant." "No, I didn't. I didn't say it." "Well, you're crazy just like these bitches are, man. I don't know what her problem was." So I just said, "Have a nice day. You know, God bless you. Have the day you deserve, whatever. Bless your heart," whatever it was.
I'll pray for you.
I'll pray for you. But anyway, here's the video. And my header on this was perhaps cleaning the bathroom would be more rewarding. She's throwing ice in a bathtub. This is the bathtub. This is a new thing. This is like the ALS challenge. This is like planking. These crazy ass women are melting it, first setting up their camera to make sure they have the right lighting, right glow, right makeup. They're wearing the proper stretch pants. You know, you got to have the right stretch pants. And the ones that
Lululemon.
They're Lululemon stretch pants. Got to make sure they went out and bought a pair of those and their boobs are properly up in their sports bra. And then they've got to look at the camera and constantly check themselves because they're narcissistic. Watch how many times she checks the camera to ensure that her ice throwing technique is accurate.
Dude, I'm going to make a video of this tomorrow.
Usually my wife
Totally.
just threw ice at me during her postpartum rage. She saw another mom throw ice in a bathtub to help emotionally regulate. Maybe making a margarita would have been a better choice. To satisfy the need to destruct. It might look crazy. No, it looks pretty batshit, to be honest. But
Camera
it helped
check.
a lot. So there's that.
Camera check. Am I still recording?
Luckily she got the camera out and got it set up perfectly. She'll do whatever it takes so she can be there for her children by not being there for her children while throwing ice and waking them up from a nap, I guess. Mommy loves you. Just don't throw the baby.
Kick the baby.
Don't kick the baby.
This performative nonsense is just that. And I guess it's nice seeing people like this throw ice at bathtubs versus trying to run ice over with vehicles. This doesn't help anybody. Get some help. Go see a psychiatrist. Go see a shrink. Go see somebody. Get the help you need.
Make sure to join the Donut Friendly Show, 7 p.m. Eastern weeknights.
Yeah, I'm going to give her the Winker Award.
Yeah, so my response, my response to that was, well, I guess it's better that she throws the ice instead of all aboard the freaking Lindsay Clancy crazy train. So they shouldn't kill her kid. Still.
Man, the man that played Dirty Dancing there saying he was really a female, Patrick Swayze. No.
No, Patrick Swayze was not.
No, because Patrick Swayze has a butt scene in Red Blood and Homeboy's backing. No. Rob Lowe shows semi-frontal, and I think Patrick Swayze shows a butt scene. He's not.
No,
he's a man.
Swayze was not.
Anybody who's seen Roadhouse knows that Patrick Swayze was a man. No, Patrick Swayze was not a woman, not a chick. No, 100%. Nope. I don't believe it. But this is insanity, folks. You know what also is insanity? Being where we're at for a goal. Need some help.
I'm a big fan of money. I like it. I use it. I have a little. I keep it in a jar on top of my refrigerator. I'd like to put more in that jar. That's where you come in.
So you went through postpartum. You and I went through the toughest 5 years of our lives, right?
Yes.
And I will tell you that I posted this today and I got a lot of hate. And I said, the sad thing about this is that there was a man in the picture at some point. And that man was probably willing to help. Whether he is there anymore or not is based upon this type of behavior.
Well, here's my opinion on the whole thing. Yes, she did the act. No denying it. I blame him as well. She showed signs of depression.
Wait a second. This woman who's throwing ice?
Oh, that throw ice? No,
We're talking about throw
Lindsay
ice
Clancy.
chick.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's no, wait a second. Now, hold on. Now you and I are going to like go head to head here.
No, just listen to me.
I will listen to you, but you better know the case.
I do.
All
I
right,
have
go.
researched some of the
All right,
things.
give it to me. Give
so
it to me.
are we going to talk about the nutter?
No,
with
we're
the
moving
ice?
right to the case.
Okay.
Because you're going to blame the man.
No, I'm not blaming the man.
You're going to give him some responsibility in
Yes,
this.
absolutely.
Okay, great.
Because
Tell me
they
why.
were married. And so was the chick, Mary something Joe, who killed her 5 kids in
we're
Texas
talking about
a few years
Clancy.
ago.
We're talking about Clancy. We're talking about Clancy now. But I'm not talking
She
about
was
some
clearly-
time out. Hey,
Yes.
foul on the play.
Yes.
Foul
Moving the goalpost.
foul, moving the goalpost on Olivia. Hold on.
And there's a flag on the play.
We're not moving the goalposts.
Okay.
We're talking about Clancy. You and I are going to have a conversation about Clancy, just like Leah and I do. Let's set the rules and the standards. We're not talking about anybody else right now. Just Clancy, her husband and her, okay?
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. So she was clearly having some issues. She was clearly on a lot of freaking drugs, like
30.
6 different.
No, 17. She was on 17 different prescriptions in a period of less than 3 months and 30 overall at various times in 4 months.
Yeah. So I can say I went through postpartum depression. Did not realize that it does compound and it can take up to 5 years to go away. So it compounded twice because I had it with both my kids. Now that was her 3rd kid. I know. I never at one time thought about harming my children. Not once. Even in my lowest points. I had dark moments about myself, but I had never had any dark thoughts about harming my children or my husband or anyone else around me. At my lowest point, you saw that and you threatened to take the kids away from me. But at no time did I even say that I was remotely
I didn't
about
threaten
harming
to take the kids away from you. That's not what happened. That's not what I did.
You said I
You
needed
make me
help.
sound so bad sometimes.
Okay,
you know
let
that?
me rephrase.
Do you realize that you don't represent me well when you talk about me? Are you
sorry.
aware of this?
I'm sorry.
Okay,
Let's
so
go through the whole
people?
story.
Can we? No, I don't want to know the whole story. But can you at least tell people the truth? Because I
Yes.
never threatened to take the kids away from you. That is
didn't
not true.
threaten.
What did I say?
I said I needed to get help or we're leaving and I'm taking the kids with me.
That's not what I said either.
I was fucked up at that time,
Okay,
so I don't remember
exactly
what you said.
It was at this moment that Nathan
Exactly.
knew he fucked up.
All right,
I was a little
This
not
is what I
there.
said to you. I said, you need help. I know you need help. You know you need help. And we have a choice. You're either going to get the help you need, or you're not going to have a choice to get the help that you need. And the kids are going to go stay with Yancy and Kelly, or Kelly and Trevor, or your mom until you do. That's what I said. I was removing the children out of the situation because I was afraid you were going to hurt them as dark as you were getting. And like you were a little punitive with them at times because I understand they would bite when you're breastfeeding, but you would thump them hard. And I understand, and you were not in a good spot.
No, I wasn't.
And I love you, and you're my queen, and I stood by you those days, and I protected you. And even when you held sex over my head for 5 years, and I literally had about as much satisfaction as a monk in a monastery, it was okay because I knew what you were going through, and I supported you. But
the key word is you supported me.
Okay.
And you didn't put me on a bunch of drugs.
Okay.
And even though
who are you insinuating put who on drugs?
he did.
No.
And took her to the doctor.
He has no power to put anyone on drugs. The only people who can prescribe drugs are a psychiatrist. And she was prescribed her first round of drugs, my understanding, was a general practitioner. And the rest of them were because of her thoughts of suicide, and that she had made claims of suicide and was really in a bad spot. That husband should have had her committed.
And that's the difference. Is
But
you,
hold on
you
a
were
second.
supportive.
The husband wasn't there because she convinced him to go to the store and leave the kids alone with her. And she got him out of the house so she could kill them. I'm sorry. I don't care how many psychotropic drugs you're on. Okay? I don't understand. I don't care how bad it is. She made a plot. She premeditated the murder. That's first degree. I don't care. I don't believe temporary insanity. I don't believe it.
She deserves to.
She admitted
it.
she did it. She's saying that listen, I've been on psychotropics. You've been on psychotropics. We've both know what happens. I was on it as a very young kid. And did I have dark thoughts? Yeah, there were times I saw bats flying out of my room. I get it. The shit that they put me on was horrible. But taking and strangling an 8-month-old?
I don't know how old he was. He was little, though. I thought he was 5 months.
Look it up. So you're talking about putting your hands, and I don't know the details of this, but because I don't like reading this stuff, Olivia will tell you, but putting your hands around the neck of a little infant or a belt or whatever she
used exercise rubber bands.
Yeah, that's no fucking way. She
they
used
were
a weapon.
5, 3, and 8 months. Is how old they
Do
were.
you hear what I'm saying to you? 5 years old, you killed a person who can talk. Mommy, don't. Mommy, please stop hurting me. Mommy, please. A
The
3-year-old
person that they trusted.
begging, Mom, why are you doing this? Stop. And an 8-month-old, this bitch needs to be put to death. But Massachusetts won't do it. I don't care. Women, you need to. This is why you can't run the country, because you act on emotions. Because you've been in a situation that you can relate to, you automatically give forgiveness. That is not your place.
So this is where my argument comes. Yes, she deserves to swing. She absolutely, she's guilty 100%. She deserves all the consequences. Yes, she planned it. She did it. My thing she had come out and said she had dark thoughts about her and the kids.
Right.
I never once said anything about the kids, but you protected those kids.
But
like
Massachusetts is different. California,
let me.
No. I'm just telling you that. Wait. You can tell the story. I'm just saying that Massachusetts rules are different than California. I can commit you as your husband in California. Massachusetts, I'm almost 100% certain you can't. Go ahead.
But it's the fact that you would have done anything to protect the kids from me. And I never once said I was going to hurt them. She came out and said she openly had dark thoughts about
her
hurting the kids
and her mother,
hurting her and everything. And they had family there. He could have taken the kids to a family member, but it's the fact that he left her alone with those kids. You would have never left me alone with the kids.
It's very simple to sit here. Okay, it's easy. Hindsight is 20/20, and it's very easy to reflect on this. Your point is made, and I agree with you 120%. But it's not like the man has any rights. Do you understand how hard it is when it comes to children and separating children from their mother? Do you understand how the government is against it in every single state?
Yes.
Nobody advocates for the father. Nothing. And then this is the problem I have: is everyone blames the father. But nobody blames the person who did it.
Oh, I 100% blame her.
She needs to be put to death.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was either a danger to society then, and in my opinion, she's a danger to society now. And the convenience of this whole thing is
that she looks innocent.
She admitted she did it. She openly admitted she did it. And they're like, temporary insanity. It's not temporary. It's called psychosis. You murdered an 8-month-old with a fucking rubber band. You should be put to death by every means possible. Put her in a men's general pop full of rapists. How can anyone support this? I understand because I've been blue. Yeah, but did you murder your kid? No. Okay, well then you can understand, can you? What stopped you? Well, were you on lithium? Were you on Prozac? Yes. Okay. Did you murder anybody? No. Okay. It's like Bill Cosby says, I like cocaine because it exemplifies my personality. Yeah, but what if you're an asshole? Well, psychotropic drugs screw up people who are already screwed up. Yes, it can cause problems. Yes, it can cause depression. Yes, it can cause uneasy feelings and anxiety and gain weight and all these other things and make you feel low about yourself. But it doesn't go make you commit murder. And what are you doing? You are opening up to every single crazy who wants to kill her kid can do it now and simply say, I was on psychotropic drugs. I didn't mean to. No. Fry her ass.
Yeah, I've got no hidden love for her.
Oh, Deborah Paris says $8.99, a third of the way. Yes, it is. It's a third of the way. $100 is definitely 1/3 of 3. Just like a threesome is 3 parts whole.
Oh my God.
Actually, it would be 1 hole, 2 holes, 5 holes. Well, then there's nasal sex, and that's just too complicated. We don't do that. There's just so many holes and not enough time. Thank you, Deborah Pre. The father, I understand, but they're helpless, man. They can't do anything in some of these states. And what are you doing? She needs to be committed. Why? Because she's, okay, 72-hour hold. Give her more drugs. Put her back in the house. How about putting her in a mental institution? You know, there's family members that we have that went in and stayed in until they were better. You know this. I know this. And it needs to happen. Now, is he perfect? No, I'm not saying that. But he didn't kill anybody. And if you're shifting the goalposts to him and not with conviction talking about her.
And there's a flag on the play.
That's shifting the goalposts. How can you defend her and attack him? I'm asking you.
Well, I didn't defend her, for starters. I just said he's partially at fault.
That's called omniscient. You're doing it by omniscient. You're focusing on, you're saying, well, she's guilty, but this guy owns some blame too. Yeah, he owns some blame. The mother-in-law owns blame. The mother owns, father, sister, aunts, cousins, brothers, roommates, next door neighbors, everybody owns blame. The signs were there. But that's not the point. The point is that she committed the murder. They didn't. Like, let me ask you a question. Do you think the father in any way, shape, or form wanted this to happen?
No.
All right. But I'm with you. I understand. I mean, there's enough guilt to go around, but hindsight is most assuredly 20/20. And I think if you asked the dad, would you have went to the store that day? The answer would be most assuredly no. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She needs to be cooked.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, just have someone choke her out with a rubber band.
No, here's the thing. She was a nurse, so she knows stuff. Why did she slit her wrist the wrong way if she really wanted to kill herself?
What are we talking about?
She slit her wrist before she jumped out of the second-story bedroom window.
Yeah, I don't believe her. I don't believe any of this shit. I don't believe this woman in any way, shape, or form.
That's what I'm saying. She was a nurse. She knows how to kill herself.
And here's the thing. Everyone take this to conclusion. Are you ready? Walk with me. Walk with me down the path. We're going to go down the primrose path. There it is, okay? We're going to take off our ruby-colored glasses. We're going to actually get to reality. Why would somebody want to kill themselves and slit their wrists after murdering their children?
Because they feel guilty for doing it.
If they feel guilty, that means they have the confidence, a conscience, and they know the difference between right and wrong the whole time. End of story. I rest my case. That's it. End of story. Where's it at? Where's it at? This house is exorcised by the demons. I'm right. If she punished herself after killing her kids, then that shows she had a conscience. She knew the difference between right and wrong, and it was premeditated murder. Fry the bitch. That's it.
Yeah.
1.21 gigawatts.
I would agree.
Good. That's good. And all the women out there, all the Republicans, there's Republicans and Democrats. I've had so many conservatives. They go to their page, they're Trump supporters who are defending this woman. This is for you.
Hey, man, just want to let you know that sometimes you got to shut the fuck up. You gotta shut the fuck up. And this current time is just one of those times you got to shut the fuck up. I don't think you're a bad person. I just don't want to hear you talking anymore. You got to shut the fuck up.
So I guess she jumped out the window this time instead of cutting herself. But the point is still the same. She tried to commit suicide after killing her kids. End of story. Like, if she gets off, this is a travesty. And here's the thing. Can I just say that, like, I'm going to say
that
as
Anthony can go live together in harmony.
Can I just say this as a man?
Yeah.
I love you. You know this.
Mm-hmm.
You're my everything.
Mm-hmm.
But if you murdered my kids in that way and you were on trial and you got off with temporary insanity,
I know what you would do.
You would not. And I love you more than anything else in the world. But if you kill my kids and you get off, Let me ask you a question. What if it was a man? What if it was a man who did this?
There would be absolutely no question.
Nobody would give a fuck. Nobody would care. If a man strangled his little 8-month-old baby, killed a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, and murdered 3 children, and then said, I was going through some emotional stuff, nobody would care. Every single woman in America, black, white, brown, indifferent, liberal, conservative, fry him, kill him. But because it's a woman, and women have some emotional like skin in the game here, which I understand. You guys understand what you can even say, I can understand what she's going through. I can understand what postpartum like. I do not condone what she did, but I get where she was at.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't care. Because every single day, men, we are encoded to commit violence. Let me say that again. Men are encoded to commit violence, and we restrain ourselves to the utmost. Now, there's some men who don't. They beat the shit out of their wives, and they kill kids, and they kill wives. That's not what I'm talking about. Men inherently are encoded to commit violence for their families and to protect self-defense. That's why we go to war. We're coded that way. That's why we're alpha. And every single day, our animals and ourselves, our animals show more restraint than women do. Listen to my point. The dog right here doesn't bite anybody's face off when she doesn't get fed. She doesn't bite anyone's face off when you whack her with a newspaper on the butt. This dog and men show more restraint for our willingness to commit violence. This is something that needs to be considered. This is emotional instability. That's my point. She actually died and they brought her back. Oh, well. If she really wanted to kill herself, then give her what she wants. Now, listen, guys and girls. Thank you. Some of these cases, parts of the case, I don't know, and it doesn't matter. The fact that she tried to kill herself and then she was brought back to, I don't care about any of that. That doesn't change the fact that she murdered 3 beautiful babies. That's it. She's a murderer, and it was premeditated. That's it. It was premeditated. Even if she said, I'm going to hurt myself and I'm going to hurt my kids, that's premeditation. I don't care how fucking crazy you are. Yep. And if Olivia was highly medicated, I would not leave the house too. I understand that. But maybe it was 2 months. Maybe he hasn't been to the store. Maybe they needed milk. Maybe she's like literally crying on the table and she goes, I need a Subway sandwich. You want to tell them this story?
My God, they've heard this story.
And I went out to Subway. I probably shouldn't have that night. And I came home and oh my God, it was literally like
I hadn't slept in 5 freaking months.
I'm not questioning you.
I know that.
I'm not. Why didn't you sleep? It was your own choice. How many times did I tell you? See, this is the thing. Just because her husband could have said something, it doesn't mean you're going to listen. Folks, we are $200 away, and we're officially in overtime now, and we can't stay for too much longer. At some point, we have to draw the
proverbial line.
God, I hate nights like this. I can't stand nights like this. Here's what the chicks say about it. Let's listen to what the chicks on the right say.
Yes.
One of these ladies strangled her 3 young children. The other watched her husband get shot right in front of her for speaking the truth. Guess which one the left supports and which one they demonize. Lindsay Clancy is not a victim. These people are seriously effing twisted. Could not agree more. This is freaking crazy.
I absolutely believe that she did this. That's the thing where,
oh my God, she's already admitted it.
Of course she's admitted it. And that's not what her lawyers are trying to get her out of. They're trying to say, well, it wasn't premeditated. She's crazy. She was psychotic at the time, which I also believe. You can believe both things at once. Sure. And I also believe that her husband seemed kind of like a jerk, but I don't think that he did this. I think she did it. And then she hurled herself out of a window and now she's paralyzed. She was on 3 benzodiazepines, 2 antipsychotics, 5 different antidepressants, and 3 sleep aids. So 6 medications were found in her body the day of the murders. 6. You guys, like the medical field failed her.
Yes,
completely.
I believe
I
that
agree.
They failed her. And I can also believe that she did this.
Yes.
And that she needs,
Yes.
there needs to be consequences.
There needs to be
That's
consequences.
right.
There needs
Jail
to be
for the rest of her
justice
life.
Beyond the fact that she has
Right.
harmed herself irreparably. I'm sorry, but like all of that can be true at the same time. And that is what like liberal women are failing to realize.
It's not
And
just liberal
conservatives.
women. It's just
Thank you.
women in general.
Melissa
Thank
on
you.
Twitter said,
Thank you,
feminists,
Daisy.
hormones after birth make us murderous and we can't help it. Also feminists, if women ruled the world, there'd be no wars and there would be world peace.
I mean, the
Bullshit.
people like the Lisa Rinnas of the world.
Every
who
woman
are
would be
getting online
killed.
running their mouths about how women are incapable of doing the things that she did. Of course, she's capable of doing it, especially when she's on a gajillion meds that mess with your brain when you already have a warped brain.
Support our show.
I am not saying. See, here's the. It is not a justifiable homicide because there's no such thing. Otherwise, it wouldn't be homicide. It could be manslaughter. It could be a self-defense case. See, I even think this. If a man walks in on a woman and she's fucking another guy and he kills them both and they call it a crime of passion, it's still murder. At some point, you had a conversation with yourself when you were walking into that house and walking into that room knowing that your wife is getting railed by another man. You know. You knew. You walked in that house anyway. You grabbed a knife. You knew what you were going to do. Every single man has negotiated that conversation with himself. Every single man. If I ever caught a guy with my wife, I wouldn't kill her, but I would fucking tear him apart and kill him in front of her. I sure would. Yes. I would cut his manhood off and I would fucking tie it around her neck. I would go full frickin' apocalypse now. None of that's true. None of that's true. But every man has thought of that, what would happen. And I guarantee you this, she's thought Lorena Bobbitt, if I ever frickin' cheated on her and she walked in and caught me, she would cut that thing off and throw it out the window. She would have to open up both windows to get it through.
You have to use freaking bolt cutters, not just scissors.
She'd have to cut it down in smaller pieces before she rolled down the window. But I don't think I would. I would probably just be completely destroyed as a human being. But every guy's had that thought. Every girl's had that thought. The difference is I don't believe in crimes of passion. Like if someone touched my kid, it's not temporary insanity. I absolutely now that person is going to they're not going to breathe by the end of the day, and that's absolutely premeditated. You've had that conversation with yourself. That's it. Yeah. Melanie says, and to me, it's premeditated and only go into a bar to drink and drive. I would make her carry him out of the house. Yeah. And I like the idea of just wrapping his dong right around her neck and making her wear it as a
And like Jamie Lannister wearing his hand.
Yeah, Jamie Lannister wearing his hand is exactly like, folks, we got to play the commercial. If we're going to stay on any longer, I got to play the commercial. We're getting killed tonight. $100. Folks, this show is worth more than that. And I know it's worth more than that. We need some help. We need some help.
Especially when I'm on.
Yeah, that's a good point. We need some help. Let's see what we can do. Let's come back. Let's reassess, and we'll go from there.
What the hell is that? It's a boy on a broom? Well, don't open the window. Bloody hell!
Muggles, I'm sorry for using magic outside of Hogwarts, but I'm in dire need. Have any of you Muggles seen my golden ball?
Did you just say he's looking for his gold balls?
I think he said golden ball. Right you are. You two are very bright witches.
You really are the brightest witch of your age.
Did he just call us bitch?
It's a Harry Potter movie. You have to keep it PG-13. You know my name? I am Harry Potter. That means you know where it is. No, we haven't seen it.
Well, you can buy a new one at the Dumb Show. You get 10% off for using code DUMB10.
Bloody brilliant! 10 points to Gryffindor.
Did he just call us Griffin whores?
If you want to take part in more adventures, you too can donate to The Dumb Show. You can go to thedumbshow.com/donate. We take PayPal, Venmo, credit card, And you can even send us an owl at P.O. Box 2, Round Hill, Virginia 20142. Please make sure to leave your name and a message, and we will share it on the next show. Live weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And remember, them Dumbledore sent you too.
Okay, seriously? What's a fumble sore?
Remember, folks, we take credit cards, we take debit cards, we take everything. If you can buy it online, you can do it here, and you can even mail us something if you really wanted to. We appreciate you. We understand. Listen, we know times are tough. Times are tough. We're not asking for the world, but yeah.
You know what we need to do?
I don't know. Tell me.
Take a picture.
Sell
of
you on
Ash.
the street.
Yeah, well, we've done that before. That didn't make us very much money. Especially with the mom bod. I don't know how it would work.
Mom bod's rocking. Your mom bod's just fine. Go ahead.
Is take a picture of Ash doing her little "please give me food" puppy dog eyes,
No,
and
we
take
don't
a
need to do
picture
that.
and put that out.
We don't need
because,
to guilt people. It's just we got to bring it up. And listen, we'll do there's one right there. Kimberly Jergemeyer. Look at how sweet. Kimberly Jergemeyer, $15. That's $15 we didn't have in just a few minutes ago. Thank you so much. Folks, we know. We understand. Trust me. We're hoping there's a few things in the fire. There's some good things happening. We've got positive vibes for the future. Yes, but we're going to just keep doing what we're doing, and this is working, and this is taking care of it, and that's what we're going to do. And we're going to keep going a little bit. We got about 6 minutes left, and then we got to get off. Can't do it anymore.
Plus, the kids are in school now, so we do still need to spend some time with them.
But here's the thing: is that really we're only 6 minutes past goal. So if we can hit it, we'll stay until 9:45 because we came on at like 9:20. Mm-hmm. So if you guys are interested in getting overtime, we do have plenty of stuff to give you. Here is the Clancy trial in a nutshell on a video. Watch this.
Let's go now to our Fox News contributor, Joshua Ritter, and correspondent Chanley Painter outside the courthouse there. Both are attorneys who have been closely watching this case. It is just devastating, every account that we have heard so far. And Josh, it appears as this goes on that there were so many red flags, that this mother was suffering deeply, and nobody was catching it.
No, she was being tortured and she was desperately seeking help. We've heard now about weeks and months that she was going to different therapists, being prescribed different medications. Some of those medications were having adverse reactions. Some of the medications were having adverse reactions with each other. She was seeking help anywhere she could get it. And we're talking about serious help. We're talking about a person who's talking about self-harm, a person who's having intrusive thoughts. She was desperate. And I think what's coming across too is very earnest in her seeking help, which is against what the prosecution has been arguing in this case, that much of this may have been fabricated or made up. I don't think any of that has been proven. I think it's abundantly clear that this was a woman who was desperately in need of help, and the defense is trying to make the case that because of that and because of the failures of the mental health care system, she was put on this collision course with disaster.
I mean,
a very, very powerful witness for the defense was Dr. Paul Zeisel, psychologist, who apparently saw Lindsay dozens of times. Here's what he said in the stand. Listen here.
My opinion is that she did have indeed a mental disease or a defect. She had bipolar disorder with postpartum psychoses.
In
addition,
it's cured
she was
now?
unable to conform her behaviors to the rule of law, and she had no appreciation for the wrongfulness of her act.
Chandler, how is that going to play against the prosecution's contention that she knew exactly what she was doing? And
See, tell me the psychiatrist that actually says, nope, this lady is batshit crazy and there was absolutely no excuse for what she did. I'm a clinical psychologist, and I can tell you that the human brain does not work this way unless there's something in an abnormality that is completely wrong that these drugs enhanced. Why don't any of them say that? Can someone explain that to me?
Because then they would lose all their clients.
That's right.
it was intent.
Yeah. Dr. Zeisel's the most important witness for the defense so far because, as you just heard, he reached the ultimate conclusion that this jury will have to make during deliberations at the end of this trial, which was whether Lindsay Clancy could conform her behavior to the standards of the law and whether she appreciated the wrongfulness of her actions at the time she committed the 3 murders of her 3 children. And he spent over 60 visits with her after the murders. He evaluated her. He reviewed all of
All right, so let me after this.
documentations. He interviewed her. He
I
was
got
the
a good
witness
question.
yesterday who told this jury that she called her husband at the time and said there was a voice, a male voice, who told me this was my last chance to kill the kids and to kill myself. And she acted on that. He explained all that to the jury. I was inside the courtroom, guys, and this jury is so attentive. They took a plethora of notes during Dr. Zeisel's testimony. Really, he was like teaching a class on what postpartum psychosis is, and they were taking note of that. And I believe that his testimony will weigh heavy during deliberations.
All right, so let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Hear me. Hear me now.
Mock me.
Everybody hear me, because this is important. Here's my question. Simple question. What if, now this is a hypothetical, so you got to bear with me on this. And I want everyone to listen. You guys, the people who believe she, needs clemency or leniency or whatever it would be, or acquittal, right?
Yeah.
Put that in.
Sorry.
Don't leave him. Put it right in.
Sorry. I forgot to hit this.
$10.80. Paul Rivera. Thank you, Paul. $10.80. I can match JD. A bunch of little ones add up. Right. Like if everyone just helped out and said, hey, you know what? I think I got $5. I got $5. It's a coffee. I'm ready to do it. Let's rock and roll. That would help out tremendously. I don't have a lot of faith tonight. We'll see. We got to get out of here in a couple minutes either way. Because we can't stay on for the other night was 3 hours and 48 minutes. Last night was real close to 3 hours. We can't work more
for less.
And we love the live show, but I'll be honest with you, if the live show can't produce, we can make that up with posting more videos and being more attentive on social media. So the live show's got to do that. That's just the way it works. But here's my thing. You're saying because she's on the medication that she is not culpable and she deserves clemency, leniency, acquittal, right?
Okay.
And that's because she murdered her 3 children and therefore is not responsible. Even though she did it, she wasn't in the right set of mind and under lawful guidelines cannot be held accountable for this. Is this correct?
How I feel?
No. That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
Okay.
That's the argument for the people who are saying she deserves clemency, acquittal.
Yes.
And, okay,
Yes.
Great. Now you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody ready? So what we're saying is, and murder is like the worst thing possible that we can think of here. That's horrible. That's okay. So she deserves that. Okay, for those people, what if she would have videotaped the kids being anally raped by men she was bringing into the house or by her own self for sexual gratification, and she was raping those children and she had done it repeatedly? Now what? She's not guilty?
She's still guilty. In my
No. I'm asking those people.
Oh, okay.
That's a damn good question, is it not?
Yeah.
Because it's amazing when it's all of a sudden pedophilia and raping children that it's okay, but you guys are like, oh, it's murder. It's just murder. If it was pedophilia and she was taking photographs and posting them online and she said, well, I was on medication. I didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't in the right state of mind. I can't be held accountable. I didn't mean to fuck 3 kids. I didn't mean to have anal sex with an 8-year-old or a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and an 8-month-old. I didn't hear the screams. I thought they were screams of passion. The medicine told me, and a man told me to rape my children. I did what the man told me to do. Would there be anybody out there defending her?
No, I don't think
not
so.
fucking one person, except for pedos. So this is what you have to do when it's justice, when it's the law. You have to weigh the variables. You have to put yourself in scenarios. You have to go ahead and think and ask yourself the question: if this was her, just putting hot coals on the children, and they were covered in scars and burn marks, what would you do?
I would hopefully she'd be arrested for child abuse.
Yeah, forever. Put her in jail. Nobody would be questioning this, but because this is murder, somehow people are like, oh, well, it needs to have a different level of standard of justice. No, not me. I don't think so. And the reason I'm being graphic is to really strike the point home. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I'll go
Makes
back to what I
perfect
said
sense.
earlier. What if it was a man?
I don't think there'd be any question.
No,
It
they
was a
fry
man.
him. Fry him. Kill him. You know what I mean? That's the way it is. Guys, be careful what you're posting in chat. You're gonna get yourself in trouble. So be careful of that. I've got time for one more video. Then we're getting out of here. Maybe I'll try to do a funny one. This is called "No Matter as far as I'm concerned, she should get a life sentence without parole." Agree.
Yep.
I would give her 99 years for each child dead. 3 99-year consecutive life sentences. Yep. That's it.
Yep.
That's it. All right, folks. Goal isn't going to happen tonight. It is what it is. We're not staying on until 10, 15, 10:30 again. We can't do it. But what I can do is I can play this one last video. IDS, here it is. This is... Yes, if she gets off, more people will do it. This is the hot coffee and McDonald's thing. I'm just telling you guys, no, she doesn't get off. And if they do, it's a travesty. Yeah. It's an absolute travesty. I'm sorry. 3 innocent, beautiful children are murdered. And this woman, I understand, like Daisy said, both can be true. She could be on psychotropic drugs. She could have been out of her mind. The medical system failed her. Yes, all of these things are true. Absolutely. 100%. All of those things are true. And she still deserves the rest of her life to be in prison.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here is the last video. Israel derangement syndrome. This video is for you. If you haven't had a chance to donate, now's the time. Somebody wants to make the magic happen. Otherwise, we're out of here after this.
All right, everyone, boy or girl?
Israel is committing genocide right now, and you people are cutting a cake?
Do you or someone you love suffer from Israel derangement syndrome?
My wife says I never listen to her. At least I think that's what she said.
We're giving Israel almost $4 billion of our tax money every year. Why are you silent on this? Are you funded by them too?
Israel derangement syndrome doesn't care if you're far left or far right. It can affect you just the same.
Jewish people are colonizers. You have no ancestral right to that land.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but this is a Wendy's.
Symptoms include bringing Israel up unprompted, ruining family holidays, and a complete inability to acknowledge any other problem on Earth.
Yes, my client ended these innocent people's lives. We can all acknowledge that. But is murder really worth making a big fuss about if it wasn't done by Israel?
But finally, there is hope for a cure. At the Clarity Center, recovery happens one fact at a time.
I had no idea Qatar was pumping billions of dollars into the misinformation all over my TikTok feed. Wow, I don't know how I'll ever recover from this.
You have to take it one day at a time.
Now, when Maya sees a clickbait headline about the Middle East, she checks the sources and seeks out other perspectives.
I suffered from Israel derangement syndrome for years. I used to call them colonizers. Then I read one actual history book.
I had no idea that almost every dollar we send Israel is spent right here on American companies and American jobs. I always thought we were just giving it away.
Before, I was certain Israel was starving out the Palestinians. Turns out, Israel helped bring food aid in. There's less hunger in Gaza than in Egypt or Jordan, and Egypt walls off Gaza, just like Israel does.
If someone you love is showing the signs, don't wait. There is help. Call the Clarity Center today, because Israel is going to be okay. It's you we're worried about.
The Clarity Center is not for everyone. Side effects may include reading past the headline, a sudden interest in Middle East history, and a constant urge to touch grass. Do not begin treatment while actively protesting. Ask your doctor if being normal again is right for you.
I think I'll put that up, folks. That's it for tonight. Olivia and I are out of here. We're gonna just take our losses and go. It is what it is. Liv, tell everybody who's coming.
Who is coming? We have got Amber Hilliker on Tuesday. Scott Lloyd will be in studio next Friday. Damani Felder will be here on Friday the 4th. Matt Purdy and Olivia Rondeau will be in house in studio on September 7th. So.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me show. We will see you guys tomorrow night, maybe. I think Olivia and I are talking about maybe taking the weekend off and just calling it good for a little bit, and just saying
our anniversary is on Saturday.
Yeah, I don't know. It's depressing. I hate nights like tonight. We're gonna get out of here. We'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me show. Good night.
Night, y'all.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leeroy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.